going to lose. 98-85, fourth quarter, no intensity in the arena, Target Center. People are ready to think about, how are we getting home today? How are we going to bundle up in this cold weather? How are we going to get home? And D'Lo starts going crazy, hitting 4 threes during the 18-6 run. And the two Wolves go to overtime. It's still a basketball game. And just when you thought the Warriors were turning some type of corner, they take 2 steps back.
Yeah.
They go from 5th to 8th in the Western Conference. Alan, I can't figure this team out.
It's like hopscotch. Now, the thing is, and I told Spadone this during the crossover, the problem is you still believe that they're going to turn the corner.
Right.
I do not at this point in time. At this point, all the fans, Dub Nation, it feels like more than half of the fan base is just, they're strictly going with the Warriors have done this before. They'll turn it on. We got Steph, we got Clay, we got Draymond, we got the championship DNA. We'll be good. So everybody keeps saying that to me. So apparently we're good. There's no need to freak out. There's no need to worry. The Warriors will be fine come playoff time. Now, the good thing is the West is the Midwest right now. Nobody is separated. Nobody is really separated. With the exception
of the Denver Nuggets.
Nuggets, Grizzlies, but the Warriors have owned the Grizzlies, so not really worried about them.
And we believe the Grizzlies are frauds. Nobody's worried about the Grizzlies.
The thing about the Nuggets that I will say, if the Warriors ever came up against the Nuggets, Jokic doesn't really talk trash like that, but he wants to get his get back. They had him playing last year without his boys, no MPJ, no Jamal Murray, and he got hit by the Warriors. And he's not the type, like I said, to talk trash, but he wants to get his get back.
He means business.
He wants to, I want to play you with my guys. So I've always felt that the Nuggets, that year after the bubble, that was supposed to be a big year for them because nobody believed in the Lakers going back-to-back. Then Jamal Murray goes down at Chase Center. So I've always felt that the Nuggets, you can't mess around with them too much. They're shopping Bones Highland. They're looking for maybe Naz Reid, who just what a tryout. What a tryout, what he did yesterday to the Warriors. So you would worry about the Nuggets a little bit, but getting back to the Warriors, man, This was an opportunity for them, and I feel like there have been multiple opportunities. This was an opportunity where, okay, you got the Timberwolves, you got them on the ropes, they've been playing hot. Yeah, they've been playing hot, but are we already forgetting no Karl Anthony Towns, no Rudy Gobert?
Which they may be better without Rudy Gobert. We could get to that a little bit later. I think the trade was absolutely asinine for the Timberwolves, especially when you see Naz Reid start and grab 24 or score 24 points and grab 13 rebounds. And per 36 minutes, I don't like to look at the per 36, but per 36, Naz Reid gets you close to a double-double.
Yeah.
20-plus points, 9-plus rebounds. He's a very good player who's active around the rim, and he's physical. Then you get D'Lo going crazy. He gets crazy hot in the fourth quarter. So, look, when it comes to the Nuggets, not only do they have Jamal Murray and MPJ back, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon's a lot better. Aaron Gordon worked on his game. He's giving you 16 and 7 now.
He's starting to transition. He's starting to transition to his new role.
Absolutely. He's been playing phenomenal basketball. And then you add in, you talk about Bones Highland, who's getting shipped out. I would keep him if I'm the Denver Nuggets. I think he's a fine young player. But Bruce Brown from the Brooklyn Nets, we saw what he could do a couple years ago in the playoffs. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a very good young player. A very good wing defender. He can hit the three as well. And that kid Brown out of Kansas, the rookie, fits that rotation very well. So the Denver Nuggets, Warriors right now, they can't worry about the Denver Nuggets. They need to worry about being consistent. And you had a chance to go up 3 games over 500 and have a winning road trip. And all of a sudden we come back today saying, well, they're going to play the Nuggets. We know Curry's probably out. We know Clay's probably out. You know Draymond's probably out. And Andrew Wiggins is probably out. So how much of a chance do you have to win tonight against the Denver Nuggets? Probably a 5% chance.
Yeah.
All right? Maybe it's a 5% chance, and all of a sudden you're coming back home, and you're even at 500 again. So it's been a frustrating time. And you think about the first half, Alan, they're rolling 71 points in the first half. You're shooting 54%. You're shooting 50 from 3. You made 18 to 20 from the free throw line. And then you get to the second half, and these numbers are atrocious.
Yeah.
34% from the floor. 2 of 12 from the three-point line. And I haven't even added overtime to this nonsense. All right? Fourth quarter, 0 for 5 from 3. You turn the ball over 6 times.
Yeah, it's not going to work. And look, when you are running out, let's see, about 7, 8 guys.
9 guys yesterday.
9 guys.
Anthony Lamb only played about 7 minutes and 27 seconds.
So there's nobody else. There's nobody else. Everybody wants to blame. You blame Anthony Lamb. You want to blame everybody but the core. I get it. And I'm not saying you got to blame everything on the core, but everybody is culpable in this in this situation. Everybody takes responsibility. And yes, that includes Steph Curry. Bonte, it's crazy to me. Sometimes, and I'm not trying to play coy here. Sometimes it feels like the Warriors go into the locker room and they make up new ways to turn over the basketball. They try to decide, how can we turn the basketball over at the worst time? You got Steph, who Draymond passes him the ball in the backcourt. Steph decides for some odd reason he's going to try to pass it back to Draymond and Looney. And I know, on the broadcast, they said, oh, well, these guys didn't know who he was passing to. It was behind both of them. It was an atrocious pass. You got Steph later, who gives Andrew Wiggins a layup, literally. Andrew Wiggins just decides to eat a bucket of popcorn before the game. It slips out of his hands. I don't understand how they continue to do these things at the worst possible time. And the only thing I can equate it to, besides just kind of just thinking in a lackluster fashion, is the fact that they're tired. They're tired. They're gassed.
Tanks on empty.
And you start doing things, and think about it. Your shooting percentage goes down. They already only shoot threes, but how many shots from Steph in the fourth quarter and even in overtime?
Short.
Front rim.
Yep.
Front rim.
Yep. Short. Steph Curry, 3 of 13 in the second half, plus the overtime. Doesn't hit a 3. You got to give Minnesota credit. But even I'm watching Minnesota, and Mooney said this yesterday on Warriors Postgame Live. Minnesota wasn't trying to win that basketball game.
No.
They were just going through the motions.
Yeah.
They were giving the game to the Golden State Warriors. How were they giving the game to the Warriors? Bad shot selection. How many bad threes did Anthony Edwards take? He's a nice young player. He's going to be a future all-star. He's phenomenal, right? He's giving you all the stats, high-flying dunks. He took so many bad threes yesterday, Alan. I said, okay, Minnesota really doesn't want to win.
They actually made a run when Anthony Edwards stopped shooting the basketball.
Exactly.
It was Nas Reed and when D'Angelo Russell. And the D'Angelo Russell situation, I should have saw. It's not the first time he's played the Warriors, but the revenge game was so obvious.
Right, it was.
As soon as he started warming up, it was so obvious to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, how did I not see this coming? Because he started to go off at the worst time, and you can just feel it. And at this point, Bonte, we're talking about the first half and to a lesser degree the third quarter. You don't even need to pay attention until the fourth. Because a couple days ago, I'm watching the Oklahoma City Thunder game. I'm like, okay, this is a good time.
Yeah.
I got my run in. I'm going to go, take a shower, come back.
They're up 20.
What is going on?
I don't know what's going on, man. They used to be the third quarter Dubs. I don't know what's happening. They scored 39 points. Actually, they scored 43 points in the third, fourth, and overtime combined. 43 points after scoring 71 in the first half.
Yeah.
All right, they scored 22, 17, and then 4. What the hell is going on with the Golden State Warriors? This week just becomes... This is a nightmare week.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. So the Warriors lose last night. By the way, Alex Styles is in. We're 15 minutes into the show. Alex Styles in for Joe Shasky. Shasky, my main man, he's feeling a little under the weather, so he may be taking the rest of the week off, but we got Alex Styles, our pinch hitter. Hell, he could start for a lot of rosters. He could back clean up for a lot of rosters. He's here as we say good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. If you're at work, what is happening? If you're getting ready for work, what is happening? Baby mamas, baby daddies, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, teachers, students, cops, CHP officers, firefighters, electricians, PG&E workers. We shouted them out yesterday. We'll shout them out again. And everybody out there, Alan, if you got a shout out to anybody this morning?
I got a shout out. I got a buddy. He drives trucks. He drives 18-wheelers, so he's out there doing it real live.
Yeah, there you go. 18-wheelers and buddies driving the 18-wheelers. What's happening? If you're driving those big old trucks, by the way, all guests appear on the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and brought to you by Golden State, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Anthony Slater will join us at 8 o'clock to discuss what's going on with the Golden State Warriors as they have a back-to-back today in Denver. And Benjamin Albright, one of the main NFL reporters out there in Denver, Colorado, who'll shed some light on the NFL. Real quick, let's pivot for a second, because Shanahan spoke yesterday alongside John Lynch.
Did he? Did he?
He looked a little edgy.
Yeah.
He looked a little angry. He looked a little mad, and he was not there for the nonsense.
No.
He was straightforward about everything, including Jimmy Garoppolo. he was asked about Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, we didn't think Jimmy would be in red and gold last season, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he ended up in red and gold. Hey, Shanahan, is there any situation where Garoppolo could be back for the 2023 season?
Is there a scenario in which you guys could see Jimmy being back, and if so, what would that look like?
No, I don't see any scenario of that.
I don't see any scenario.
Yeah.
I don't see any scenario where he's going to be back. And then the reporter's like, oh, I'm talking about Garoppolo. Goes, oh, no, I got you. I knew what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, we've been through this before. I will say this, and I know we're going to continue to get into it. I will say this. The way John Lynch talked about Trey Lance and how he has to prove he can stay healthy and how Brock Purdy has been really durable, I think was the exact quote. And by the way, playing 8 games or 9 games is really durable for the Niners. That's where we're at. That's where the bar is, by the way.
Right.
But because they made such a decision to talk about that, that's why I do believe that Jimmy is gone this time, because you can't make the club in the tub and you can't continue to bring a guy back that can't finish the season.
No, you can't.
And I know we're going to get into the offensive line, but a lot of teams don't have good offensive lines, right?
No.
This is to me, Jimmy has not been able to stay healthy, period.
He got himself hurt. You know, a lot of people, let's be real. We go back to the Miami game, and you could say Trey got himself hurt. He didn't protect himself in week 2 against Seattle. Well, what the hell was Jimmy doing? Mm-hmm. Did he think he was going to outrun Javon Holland and Phillips on the edge there? Throw the ball away, dude.
Yeah.
Throw it away. He thought he was athletic. He's not. He can't run away from guys, and he gets hurt. Now, the injury sucks. I really feel bad for him because he was playing really good football. But Jimmy, at times, doesn't make the smartest decisions. Mm-hmm. And I think for both parties, for Jimmy, for Kyle Shanahan, for this fan base, let's just wash our hands.
It's time.
Jimmy, thanks for everything.
It's time.
But it's time.
It's time. It feels similar to me. Shout out Spadone. It feels similar to me, Raiders with Derek Carr. Nobody is saying Derek Carr is bad. Nobody is saying Derek Carr is trash. Some people are, but I am not. I think Derek Carr
I don't think he's trash.
He's a pretty good quarterback.
I just don't want him as my quarterback.
Right. He's just throw him in the bucket with the Kirk Cousins and all those guys, and everybody's saying, look how much he did for the Raiders. Okay, so what does that mean? Yeah. Sometimes it's just time to move on.
How many playoff games did he win? How many times did he go to the playoffs?
I mean,
how many times did he point the fingers at a receiver because he threw it away?
That was my favorite.
Takes the shirt off, just showing everybody up. You're supposed to be the captain of the team,
right?
And you're out here throwing hissy fits all day long on the football field. Enough. At least Jimmy doesn't do that.
Jimmy doesn't do that.
That's why I don't want Derek Carr around here.
Right. Jimmy doesn't do that, but Jimmy can't stay on the field. And, you know, these are different reasons, but the same result. They just need to move forward. It was a good run. Bonte, the 510 is calling me out. Alan, cut it out. John Lynch did not say Brock has been durable. He did. We'll find it.
Yeah,
we'll find it. He did.
Where is that cut? Here, let me play this one. John Lynch on the 49ers quarterback injury history. I think it's just a coincidence.
I'm sure people wonder. Jimmy's had his issues, but believe me, it's nothing the way we play our quarterbacks or anything. I think it's just coincidence, and we look into everything, but I don't think we have any more of an issue than anybody else. I think that's a tough position in this league.
All right, so that's a tough position. Shanahan spoke about Purdy's timeline yesterday. Brock Purdy's timeline.
Once 3 months is over, they start the rehab of just building the arm back slowly. And by 6 months, it's built back. And that's when I started to ask questions. So does that mean ease them in and stuff like that? Like you would think of ACLs and things like that. And they said, no, the build-up's been from 3 to 6. And at 6 months, he is the same dude in full go. So that was the most encouraging part that I heard.
So we'll see about that if Brock Purdy's back in 6 months.
Yeah.
I have my doubts. Now, you play baseball.
If he gets Tommy John, it's a year.
It's a year.
It's a year. If he gets the surgery. Now, obviously, you get a second. Why? It's just when you talk to your parents, why do you go talk to your mom after you talk to your dad? Because your mom said something that you didn't want to hear.
That's a good point.
Okay?
That's a good point.
You know, so Brock Purdy, he getting a second opinion because he didn't like what the first opinion was.
Right.
And hopefully.
And the first opinion probably was what? Tommy John?
You got to go under the knife.
What did you think when you saw it? Because you play baseball.
It looked weird. I mean, I thought it might have been a funny bone situation, something like that, but it all happened so quickly, and then right after that, I think the Eagles go 3 and out, and then Josh Johnson comes in. You're thinking, oh no. Now, normally Tommy John, when you're talking about a pitcher, there's no contact.
Right.
So that's why this was a bit different. Normally, it's just, okay, the way you were throwing or something didn't feel right. You tried to fight through it, and then there was an issue. So typically, you don't see it due to a contact play, but I did not think it was that serious when I first saw.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. And then next thing you know, we saw him throwing on the sideline. We're like, oh. And Shasky was all over it. He's like, yo, that's a UCL. That's an elbow injury. He's done. Shasky was on that from the get-go at Financial Lincoln Field. Lincoln Financial Field, excuse me. Shanahan on if they'll look to go grab a veteran quarterback.
I know we have 2 starters on our team right now that I believe we can win with. So when you have that situation, you're not that eager to go looking around.
So he believes he has 2 starters on the roster. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance.
Right.
Trey Lance, we saw him walk on the field in Philadelphia. He's still in the boot after getting the cleanup. So he's still in the boot.
3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks.
We'll see. Brock Purdy, we have no idea what's going on. They say 6 months. Could be longer.
Right.
So that 6-month timeline takes you right through August. Is he going to have his throwing power? How's he going to look? Is he going to compete for the job? I think the Niners either need to draft a quarterback or sign somebody. Now, who that somebody is, I have no idea. But I don't feel comfortable going into the season with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, especially if you have Super Bowl aspirations.
And I'm not trying to be pessimistic here. All I can do is speak from experience. And look, it's very similar. Almost the Tommy John situation is almost similar to the Achilles situation in sports as well. So you would say, okay, well, back in the day in Achilles, that was pretty rough, right? A lot of guys didn't come back from it. Not the same anymore. Same thing with Tommy John. Tommy John, some guys would come back from it. Some guys wouldn't, at least be the same.
Yep.
So there's a good chance that Brock Purdy is fine when he comes back. But let's not forget, Bonte, what was the one thing that Brock Purdy was lacking?
Arm strength.
So you can't really afford to lose any arm strength as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So you better hope that he comes back 100%. Here's some of the names, Bonte. Obviously, you can cross off Tom Brady. You got Baker Mayfield, who I think the Rams might want to bring back because who knows what Matthew Stafford's doing.
Yep.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, God.
Jimmy G, of course. Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, no.
Daniel Jones, who I guess somebody's going to pay. Case Keenum. Your boy, Mason Rudolph. I don't know why he's your boy. I just said that. Jacoby Brissett. Gino's going to get cashed out, I would assume, by the Seahawks. Joe Flacco.
Oh, my God.
All right. CJ Beathard.
All right,
bring him back.
Stop. Please stop.
Kyle Allen.
My God.
Taylor Heineke actually doesn't.
Oh, my God.
Just
such
hear
a
me
Shanahan
out, though.
quarterback.
You
Tyler
know,
Heineke.
just have him there.
Such a Shanahan quarterback.
Just have him there.
Oh, my God.
You got Blaine Gabbert. Your boy,
Gabbert.
Money Mullins can come back.
Oh, my God. It's develop Trey.
Yeah.
It's time to develop Trey Lance.
Right. Which I don't know why that is such a crazy statement right now.
Well, a lot of people are down on Trey Lance because when you look at this roster, you look at this core, do people believe Trey Lance is ready to help get the Niners back to that point they were just at for the past 2 seasons, which is the NFC title game? Trey Lance has played 5 games since 2018. He's played 5. All right? 5 games. No development. And so now that season that Jalen Hurts had a season to go to where he was able to go through the rigors of the NFL. Yeah. See what the speed was like. Play through the mistakes. And all of a sudden he loses a playoff game in Tampa Bay. Boom, the next year he's rolling, right? He's lost 1 game this season. Jalen Hurts. Trey Lance hasn't had that. We thought we were going to see that this year. Hell, at this point, looking back at it, knowing that the Niners lost the NFC Championship to the LA Rams, I would have just loved to see Trey Lance play that entire season.
Well, sure. Yeah, you can say that now, right? You could say that now.
I was actually one of the lunatics who wanted him to start week 1.
Well, I was at that Texans game when he came through and he did his thing in the second half. So I was high on him as well. He's behind the 8 ball. He was very far behind the 8 ball, and here's the problem. Just because he's a year older, he hasn't gotten to work on any of those things because he hasn't been able to play. But I do still think, I do believe what Shanahan is saying. He feels good about it, and I do think that the Niners will have an opportunity. I just believe that you have to get one of these guys just in case Brock isn't ready in time, or Trey Lance, the whole thing. So this is what I want to know. Can somebody please explain to me what we're doing with Trey Lance in terms of when he got, so yesterday Kyle Shanahan said, and I know we're going to get to the chippiness, and our dual threat QB got hurt.
Right.
When Trey Lance was drafted, do you recall him being a straight up dual threat? Like when I hear dual threat, I'm thinking, I guess, more Lamar Jackson
They would scheme up runs for
Justin
him,
Fields.
but he was more pocket quarterback.
Yeah.
He was pocket quarterback who had the ability to extend plays. Let's pick this up on the other side. 888-957-9570. We have Warriors losing to the T-Wolves. How do Warrior fans feel about that? We got Shanahan discussing the quarterback situation. Wide open lines, wide open conversation. It's Alan Styles in for Joe Shasky the Butcher. Spadoni's back. Lupman's back at the house. He's chilling. He's sick. What the hell is going on around here this week? What the hell is going on in the Bay Area? Warriors lose. They blow another double-digit lead. The 8th time that's happened this season. Niners, of course, are looking... Trey Williams is walking into the locker room on the crutches. What a nightmare. What a nightmarish week. All right, what's coming up in the game brought to you by CalHope.org and the Department of Health Care Services. 888-957-9570. Your phone calls coming up. Wide open lines here on the Morning Roast.
Damn it.
It's the Red and Gold reaction on 95.7 The Game. Being a great player is doing it year after year after year.
This is insane.
And I would say the same thing if Trey Lance did what Brock Purdy did.
I'm buying all my stock in Trey Lance. I never sold it.
Yeah, but
Red Eye right now. Brock is a top 15 quarterback right now in the NFL.
Brought to you by the SF Sheriff's Office. Your future begins here.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
Thank you to all of the business owners who kept people employed during the pandemic. For all you've done, you may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Paychex is proud to have helped more than 45,000 businesses secure over $9.2 billion in ERTC claims, an average of $190,000 per business. 50 years and thousands of experts in HR, payroll, benefits, and insurance. You may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Visit paychex.com/ERTC to find out how Paychex can help you get additional cash into your business. Paychex.com/ERTC. Paychex.com/ERTC.
The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving Northern California golfers for over 30 years.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Come into Friedman's Appliance and see the full line of Fisher & Paykel appliances. Experience them in person in live vignettes, including their famous dish drawer dishwasher and unique sizes of refrigeration designed to fit seamlessly into your kitchen space. Fisher & Paykel products deliver perfect results with exceptional design and performance. And for a limited time, receive up to a $2,000 rebate when you purchase a qualifying Fisher & Paykel kitchen package from Friedman's Appliance. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or online at friedmansappliance.com.
UCSF Sports Medicine Center is dedicated to treating every type of athlete, from kids to adults, amateurs to elite professionals. As one of the best orthopedic programs in the nation, UCSF has programs to optimize an athlete's performance and the latest advancements to treat the most complex sports injuries. With locations throughout the Bay Area, now including Marin, Walnut Creek, and Redwood Shores, it's even easier to make an appointment today. Visit ucsfhealth.org so you can get cleared to play. UCSF Health, redefining possible.
Hey everybody, it's Boomer Esiason here. When a part of your offense isn't firing on all cylinders, it shows. And sometimes the only solution is to replace that part with something new. It's true on a championship team, and it's also true with cars. That's why I love eBay Motors. They have all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, by the way. And that way you can get the parts that you need to make your car a winner. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Streaming only on Peacock. From the mind of Ryan Johnson, the writer-director of Knives Out.
Miss Gale, you've got this gift, always knowing the truth.
I only know if something is alive. The real trick of it is to figure out why.
Natasha Lyonne is Charlie Cale.
It wasn't an accident. I think there's been a murder. You watch too much Dateline.
A new 10-part mystery series.
Wolves on my fender. I gotta keep moving. I have been kind of a death magnet.
Poker Face, streaming now only on Peacock.
Come on, man. You got Larry June in the building. You listen to the Morning Roast, and we're doing numbers, man. Good job, Morning Roast. Sock it to me. Hey.
Yee! Needed Larry June in Philly. We needed numbers, man.
You needed protection.
You needed the armed forces, man. Secret Service, everybody. Oh, I'm still scarred. All right, the Red and Gold Reaction brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. We got Taking Them to School coming up in a second. We got more Shanahan sound. We got the Warriors just absolutely gagging in the second half. Very frustrating loss. The turnovers. They turned the ball over 5 times in the first half. You turn it over 12 the rest of the way. You give up 24 points off those turnovers. That's a terrible loss, especially when you think that the Warriors, when you consider the fact that the Warriors were able to get to the free throw line 34 times. 34 times. They make 27. The T-Wolves go 13 and 24 from the free throw line. So usually that's a recipe for a win. But you get crazy cold from the three-point line. You get outshot by the T-Wolves by 15. They attempted 15 more field goals than you. And you lose a game. Why? Because Naz Reid, monster double-double. Kyle Anderson made some big plays down the stretch. D'Angelo Russell gets crazy hot. And the Warriors get crazy cold. And the turnover thing. You know, all these people, you're on Twitter, Alan. You see it all the time. You know, the youngsters, man, they haven't helped. You need to do something, blah, 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 blah. Well, they've blown 8 games when they had double-digit leads. And for the most part, it's been on the vets.
Yeah, that's not on the youngsters.
Wiseman didn't play yesterday.
No.
Kuminga only played 15 minutes. Moses Moody's down in Santa Cruz. He's not playing right now.
They chased a win. They have been. They have been with this shorter rotation. But Bonte, everything you just said is true. And it all, there would have been time left on the clock. It all could have went away if Steph makes a mid-range bunny.
Wow.
And it has to be said. And my count, and look, anybody on the Xfinity mobile text line, anybody on the YouTube chat, anywhere, you can tell me if I'm forgetting any game winners or close to game winners that Steph had this year. But right now, Bonte, I count 3 situations where Steph was in a good opportunity to get the Warriors over the hump, and he didn't make it happen. Number 1, was against the Mavericks when he traveled, right? I forget who he had on him, but he traveled at the end of the game. That was towards the end of last year. They lost that game. They lost that game. Then you have the Celtics. Steve Kerr elects not to call a timeout. Steph puts up a wild 3-point shot. Of course, they lose in overtime. And now you have this game last night against the T-Wolves where it's a play that Steph hits time and time again, and he does not get it done. I know he's got game winners on his resume. This is not an indictment. All I'm saying is there's plenty of blame to go around. You turn the ball over.
Steph gets blamed.
You can't make shots, and then you got a bunny that can just end all of it, right? And just say, okay, we still got over the hump because we have the best player on the court, and you didn't get it done. And then in overtime, you still didn't get it done.
No.
So everybody's got to wear some blame. Every single person. You got to be better. Steve Kerr, the last time they played at home, when they played the Grizzlies, I went to that game and I asked Steve Kerr about.
Sorry for you.
Well, no, they won that game.
Yeah, well, the game took 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a clown.
Oh,
show.
Don't get me started. Because I had to take Uber that day.
Right.
And they don't like going over the bridge.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I got about 10 cancellations on my Uber. So don't worry. I mean, I've already complained about that enough. But Steve Kerr kind of jokingly said, we go over these turnovers. I said, these guys are vets. Is it hard to talk about, hey, guys, don't do this when they know they shouldn't be doing this? They're, they've been in the league. He says we go over how these turnovers happen and this, that, the third. And ultimately, he kind of made a joke. He said, ultimately, they do the same thing the next game. And he made a joke and everybody in the media room laughed. But I don't think he was joking because they do the same things over and over again at the worst times. The worst times. Look, he had a wide open jumper to win the game at the end of regulation with 4 seconds left. I thought he rushed his shot. It's a great look. You'll live with the look. But this is a crazy stat. And I'm not here to say Stephen Curry's not clutch because that's stupid. Game 4 in Boston happened, folks. Yes.
Was that not clutch? I mean, I could use a plethora of examples here about why Steph Curry is clutch. But I can't unsee what I saw yesterday on ESPN Stats and Info. Steph Curry's played 5 overtime games in the last 2 seasons. He scored a total of 7 points a shot, 1 of 13 from the floor in those overtime periods. Warriors, as a team, have lost 9 straight road overtime games.
Oh.
I mean, since 2017, they've won 2 overtime games.
That's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great. And those are completely different rosters.
Different rosters. You had KD in 2017.
You had KD.
You had Klay Thompson healthy. Look, real quick, Alan, let's continue the conversation. We'll get to RJ at Fairfield, but now it's time for Taking Them to School, brought to you by Evergreen Valley College, home of free tuition for spring 2023, beginning January 30th. And one of the shots Steph Curry did make, because he was off to a great start, 21 points in the first half, 5 made threes. Well, guess what? He finished with 5 made threes. But here's one highlight, courtesy of Tim Roy.
Curry guarded by Edwards. Curry waiting. Shooting right over the top of him, and it barely moved the net. Edwards couldn't believe he was going to take that shot, and Curry says, yeah, I'm number 30. I can make that. It's 34-29 Warriors.
That was an insane shot right there in the first quarter there for Steph Curry. And the Warriors were rolling 71 first half points, and yet they scored 43 the rest of the way. Unbelievable. That was Taking Them to School, brought to you by Evergreen Valley College, home of free tuition for spring 2023, beginning January 30th. Let's get RJ Fairfield on here. I believe he wants to talk some Niners. We can jump back and forth all day long because we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to both squads, the Warriors and the 49ers. RJ, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, Vontae? What's up, Alan? Hey, real quick. Hey, Warrior fans, man, y'all shouldn't be complaining, man. Y'all got your chips. Try being a Sacramento Kings fan, all right? Just want to say that. But you guys touched on it earlier about the Brock Purdy situation. And I called in right after the Bucks game, and I said that I see more from Brock Purdy than I did from Trey Lance. If you talk about, Trey Lance had 5 games. In those 5 games, you could not say he should be QB1. In 2 games, I've seen more poise from Purdy, a better accuracy from Purdy, and I've seen the confidence and the movement in the pocket. So, I mean, QB1 is Purdy all the way. We gave it to Trey Lance. Man, he had a shot, and I didn't see enough from Trey Lance, and I don't know why we keep harping on it. Unless you see some, I don't know Why you keep harping on it, Vontae? You doubted Purdy at first. I'm just saying.
I did doubt Purdy, and he showed limitations the last 3 first halves. Now, there's videos out there. Look, we all feel good about Brock Purdy. There's videos out there about all the interceptable passes he threw. The no throws.
Right.
Threw 3 in the first half against Seattle, folks. He threw a couple against the Dallas Cowboys. He averted danger. Guys are dropping picks. Now, Purdy did play better than Trey Lance. He looked better than Trey Lance. But he also had George Kittle CMC at his disposal. Trey Lance had George Kittle 1 game in his 4 starts. 1 game. The game against the Texans.
Right.
And they won that. Trey Lance hasn't gotten to play with CMC. I'm just saying.
No, and I would agree. And I'm not – I think, to me, Brock Purdy did play better than Trey Lance. I think he got more of an opportunity, right, because he was healthy, so he put himself in that position. But I would say I don't think Brock Purdy has done enough to where if Trey Lance is ready to go before Brock Purdy and he's playing and we don't know what Brock Purdy's timeline is, I don't think Brock Purdy has done enough to where if Trey is getting the job done, right, depending on when Brock Purdy comes back, and really that's the most important part. Because if Brock Purdy comes back in the preseason, being very optimistic, if he comes back in the preseason, then they're just going to duke it out, and Kyle Shanahan can figure it out.
Let me ask this question to you before we break, Alan. And then we get asked the roasters here. 888-957-9570. Also the Xfinity Mobile text line. Have you seen Brock Purdy's ceiling? Is that his ceiling? Or is there more to give from Brock Purdy?
There's more.
There's more?
There's more.
Because we know there's a lot of potential with Trey Lance.
Right.
But have we seen the ceiling of Brock Purdy?
I think we've seen we're closer to it than Trey Lance, but a lot of guys never get to their ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's discuss that coming up. The Morning Roast is also going back to school. High school, that is. We want to highlight the best performances in the Bay Area prep scene, but we need the roasters to help us out. Send us an email at hss@957thegame.com and let us know where the big games are, who the big players are, and most importantly, when the big upsets happen. Again, email us at hss@957thegame.com.
It's the Red and Gold reaction on 95.7 The Game. We owe it to Trent and Kittle and Debo and Ayuk and Bosa and Fred and all these guys, because I don't know how big this window is. We've got to win a Super Bowl right now. And so to me, if that's the criteria you're operating under as that front office, it starts with Brady. Brought to you by Zenni, the official eyewear of the San Francisco 49ers. Shop from over 3,000 styles at 80% off retail prices. Exclusively at Zenni.com.
The other day, I bought a cockatoo. Hello! He's a handful, but I'll manage. Just like I manage without home internet. Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable, but I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
It's mating season, Dad!
No home internet? It's not that bad!
Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
Hey, it's Johnny Mosley, and this is Thursday's Toyota Tahoe Report. The forecast is a little unsettled, but it's going to be a ripping weekend. Pack up your Toyota. I'll see you up there.
Thanks, Johnny. Morning clouds will develop into more overcast conditions throughout the day today. Daytime temperatures will remain mild with a high of 44 degrees, dropping to the mid-20s overnight. This report has been brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Check out Toyota's full lineup of mountain-ready all-wheel drive vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Have you considered walking through another door? I don't mean to pursue another opportunity, but upgrading a door in your home. Now, if you are in fact looking for another opportunity, Golden State Window and Door can provide you with plenty. You can create renewed function and design for use indoors and out. You'll find modern options like Marvin's Elevate In-Swing French Door, Barn Doors by Trustyle, or Anderson Big Doors that welcome in natural light. Golden State Window and Door features a variety of materials, sizes, and glass options. You can get inspired by the many possibilities when you visit goldenstatelumber.com. Click on virtual tours and you'll discover beautifully planned displays of doors and windows of all kinds that will spark your imagination. Then, talk with our builder or designer to see what might be a good fit for your home. Serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
If you want to lose weight once and for all and have tried fad diets and dubious products with little success, listen up. The FDA recently approved the weight loss medication semaglutide, and it's helping millions of patients from Hollywood to Broadway lose weight for good. At Balanced Medical Solutions, we can determine if this breakthrough medication is right for you. Step 1 is to identify any underlying conditions that can thwart your efforts, such as a hormonal imbalance. Stop guessing and arm yourself with knowledge. Our medical evaluation with labs is only $99. Call now, 510-679-3300, or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Get started for just $49.99 a month. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now aboard.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 50 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $38.99. Go farther with better fuel efficiency. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Milk, eggs, $42. Ma'am, you okay?
Need bucks? With Jackson Hewitt, don't wait weeks for the IRS to send your tax refund. Come in now for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee refund advance loan when you file your taxes. That's up to $3,500 today. Don't let high prices get you down. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes. So get to Jackson Hewitt today. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Other banks go out of their way to make redeeming credit card rewards needlessly complicated. But Discover isn't like that. With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount, at any time. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
The Morning Roast is live on YouTube right now. Take it away, Bonte.
Steph, man. I love you, Steph. I needed a little more in the fourth quarter and overtime yesterday. I know foul trouble got you out of rhythm. But, Steph, man, we needed that win. Would have been their fourth in a row, third in a row on the road. And you would have been feeling good. You would have been 3 games over 500. You would have clinched a winning road trip. And now, who the hell knows who's going to play in Denver? You got to come back, play the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday, quick turnaround to OKC on Monday. Maybe it's just the way the season's going to go. So we'll get to that. We'll get to some more Warriors a little bit later. Anthony Slater is going to join us at 8 o'clock. Right now, we're rolling on the 49ers. We got more Shanahan sound. As as this segment is sponsored by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. Let's go out to the lines. Alan Styles, by the way, in for Just Asking the Butcher. He's a little under the weather, so I think he's going to take the rest of the week out. Don't worry. So we got Alan Styles in the building, baby. The Styles Files. Robin in the city. Robin, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I like on the video. I've been meaning to tell you, Vontae. I like your remark when you say go back to Kansas.
Oh, the guy?
I heard. Yeah, that was you who said go back. Was that you?
No, that was somebody else. I wasn't saying anything. There was too many things going on during that video.
We were laughing. We were cracking up on that. Here's what I want to say real quick. I want to say just about the Warriors. Because that's not why I called. But I agree with you, Alan. They are who they are. I don't see them turning around. And people who think this is the same, they're measuring this same team and where we are now to what we used to be, is just, that's just a dream. They're not in reality. They don't know how to measure anything. So I'm with you. They are who they are, and they're not going to turn around. This is not, they can't do that anymore. They don't have, the coach said it yesterday. He said, we don't have that kind of team to do that anymore. So anyway, I wanted to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm going to say it real quick. I'm not saying that he should come back. I'm not saying he should come back. He can't stay on the field, just like you guys said, all those points. I'm not debating any of that. I agree. But it's really ironic, that it really would make the most sense when you look at the scarcity of the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. Those quarterbacks you name, Alan, are not any better than Jimmy, if not even worse. So I say that to say this. I think that Shanahan, though, acted hastily when he went and got Trey. I really do. And I have nothing against Trey or Brock. But if you want to win, you're not going to win. You're not going to develop and win at the same time. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And so Shanahan backed himself into a corner. That's what I believe. Peace out, you guys.
Interesting. What do you think about that, Alan?
Yeah, well, the thing about the Trey Lance and running, and, people are saying he ran a ton, back in college, so that this is what we expected. Okay, that's fine. But you're always going to be, and this is not just with Trey Lance. If Jalen Hurts' shoulder was hurt worse, and it's funny because at the beginning of the season, people were thinking, Jalen Hurts, we got Gardner Minshew over here, right? But if Jalen Hurts, if his shoulder is any worse, the Eagles are cooked. So all of these running quarterbacks, you are one play away from that. Popped. So you're always going to have that, and that's why I think that Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley, I think one good thing the Ravens have done is have him. He's a Walmart version of Lamar Jackson. But
Derek Carr and Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowlers.
Well, there you go. So at least you have somebody that can fill in that role a little bit, because if you rock with Trey Lance, you're going to need a viable backup. That's just what it is. So I think that you have an opportunity with Trey Lance. I think you do have to bring in a vet guy. And I don't think, and Robin's right, I don't think that any of these guys are necessarily better than Jimmy. Right. Number one, I think they're going to be cheaper, because let's not forget, Jimmy has a market, and early in the season before the injury, a lot of people were interested in where Jimmy was going to go. We heard about Salah, you go to New York with the Jets. So that's number one. And number two, it feels like a lot of these guys, the injury bug like we talked about with Jimmy, I don't think the Niners want to go down that route again. And number three, it's just time. It's just time. I don't think these guys are better than Jimmy, but I don't know how much better Jimmy is than some of these guys. Not to disrespect them at all.
And there's people who believe in distractions, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, if you bring this guy back, he's a distraction. You bring this dude in, he's a distraction. Well, bringing Jimmy back, isn't that another distraction for Trey and Brock Purdy? You bring all three of those dudes back, it's going to be anarchy within this fan base, let alone the football team.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's almost, as crazy as it sounds, beyond the X's and O's on the field. That's why Shanahan said, we're not doing it. We can find a Jimmy type of player somewhere else in this group and just go from there.
Let's go to Oscar in Fresno. Oscar, you're on the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, good morning, guys. Love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, I just want to mention two things I got, man. I love you guys. I listen to you guys all the time, and I was in Philly this weekend, man. Man, those fans, they went to the top of my list of hated fans of any other team.
Oh, it's personal with them.
They were the worst.
They were the worst fans by far.
Were you at the Niner Empire tailgate?
I was. South Lawrence Street, right? Where we all marched.
Yeah,
we all marched in together.
Yeah, we all marched in together. Did you see me? I was with my buddy wearing the Rey Mysterio mask.
Oh, I did see you.
Yeah, that was me.
I saw
you, man. That was me.
No, you guys are right. You guys are thick.
Yeah. And then we walked in with all the Niner Empire and with Booby Dixon.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So yeah, those fans are horrible. We were getting so much crap, but hey, man. Okay, so to my point, man, I went to all 3 games that we've lost in the last 4 years. I went to the Super Bowl in Miami. I was there in LA last year, and I was, in Philly this past weekend. And I'm so heartbroken, man. I'm, I want to see my Niners win. And just a quick question: what do you think about going all in and just say, hey, we need a quarterback that can stay healthy? And I'm not much of a Rodgers fan, but what do you think about going in all in on Rodgers, but at a way cheaper price that he's getting paid if he really wants to win?
Oscar, thanks for the call. Couple things right off the rip that comes to my mind, Alan, is one, you don't have the draft capital to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
2, what type of pay cut is Aaron Rodgers taking?
That's the big one.
He's owed big dollars.
That's the big one.
Big dollars. And 3, why would the Green Bay Packers trade him within the conference to their rival, the San Francisco 49ers?
Right.
I just don't see it happen. I think the Raiders are a more realistic spot for Aaron Rodgers as opposed to the 49ers.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the money is the biggest part of this. And, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he wants to take any type of pay cut, to be completely
50.
To be completely
50.
honest with you. And it's easy to say. I know we always say, well, I mean, these guys have so much money anyway. Let that be your money. Let that be your money. And now you have to take a pay cut to go out and get hit by 300+ pound linemen. So I don't know if Aaron Rodgers would be willing to do that. And I know Aaron Rodgers, he's such an interesting character. We got the ayahuasca, all those types of things. He's such an interesting character because he's the type of dude who might still have that chip on his shoulder from the draft. And you could either go in the direction of, well, I want to prove you guys made a mistake and get you your Super Bowl, or say there is no way on God's green earth I'm going to the Niners.
No doubt. Hey, it's funny. Conrad on YouTube. This dude, Oscar Frisno, must be balling. Super Bowl, Miami.
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium, NFC Championship game, LA, and then in Philadelphia.
That's
at
true.
The Niner tailgate.
Next time he calls in, you got to ask what he does.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't go to these games anymore. It's a trend.
People are saying Shasky and I shouldn't go to title games anymore. Shout out to Boxer Gerson for sending this out there. The 49ers March is special.
Yeah.
I mean, Shasky and I start walking out because they're like, we got to get in the stadium early. And then, we look back, and there's a herd of Niner fans. I'm sure you saw the video.
Yeah.
And then guys waving the flag. You got the dudes on the bike. And then we get into the stadium. It was basically the walk of shame.
I saw the video. And look, I got ties to Philly and whatever. I'm sure there's some Niner fans listening that were a part of putting the Niners jersey or the Niners shirt on the Rocky statue. I know one of you out there listening. They need to be blamed, to be completely honest with you. Not you or Shasky. It's got to be them because, look, I believe the Niners did it the last time they played the Eagles and the Niners won. So obviously I'm joking around here, but I don't know, man. Look, Philly said they don't play. They are doing their best to make sure you do not want to come back, right? You do not want to come back, and we can get our numbers up because I believe the Tick Pick said it was around 18-20% Niner fans.
Right.
They're trying to get that bad boy to 0.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's one way to do it.
And they were serious about their field. They were serious about their turf. Niners losing NC title game. Shanahan spoke yesterday. We have more sound coming up. Also, the Warriors blow their 8th game in which they had a double-digit lead. They were up by 14 yesterday. They were up 98-85. 8 minutes to change left. Up 13, rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, I never felt the Warriors were going to lose that game. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this is easy money. Steph's rolling. You got Wiggins involved. All 5 starters scored double figures. What the hell happened?
It's just
bad offense. You go 0 for 5 from 3 in the fourth quarter. You turn the ball over 6 times in the fourth quarter. I mean, right now they're not playing like a championship team. And that's frustrating because you win that game yesterday, all of a sudden you're still in the top 5 in the Western Conference. Mm-hmm. You're a couple games back from the Sacramento Kings. you're like, oh, boy, we haven't even played well, and we're in the top 5. We have a chance to get home court advantage. You lose a game, you drop back to 8th. Now you're in playing territory, and if the play had started today, I know when people hate doing that, but the play had started today, they'd be playing Minnesota in Minnesota.
And my thing is, when I sit there and I say, Robin had said, oh, I'm with you, Alan. I don't think that the Warriors can turn the corner. I'm not necessarily saying they can't. I'm saying that at this point, I'm not going to get up in arms about what they do during the regular season because everybody just keeps saying, just get them to the playoffs. But all those people saying that and all those people saying, you can't beat the Warriors, like, no, they haven't lost, this, that, the third. All the people saying that, just be very clear. There is nothing that the Warriors have done this season that makes you feel confident about them winning a championship.
Not right now.
Everything that you're saying is based on what they have done in the past.
Yeah.
They won one last year. They obviously have won 4 in total. That's what you're using. But you can't convince me that you've seen the Warriors play championship basketball for a consistent period of time this season. They haven't done it.
They haven't done it at all.
They've done it maybe a handful of times.
5 games on a homestand, right. 8-game homestand. And even then, they didn't play championship basketball. They were rallying from big fourth-quarter deficits, winning in overtime, double overtime.
Right.
I mean, they haven't played like a championship team all season long. We'll get back out to the calls in just a second. 888-957-9570. We got more Shanahan sound. He had his end-of-season presser yesterday, and boy, was Shanahan on edge. Was he on edge? You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. Let's go to our big man in San Bruno, Rob. What's happening, Rob? You on the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
What's going on, fellas? First off, I want to say, man, I heard that Kyle presser, and I'm disappointed in this guy, man. But I'm going to get past that. But I feel like the Niners need to...
Wait, hold on 1 second, Rob. What made you disappointed about the presser?
The fact what he said about Trey, I got a dual-threat quarterback, so I'm basically saying he got a dual-threat quarterback, he got hurt. And that's basically what he said. Like, no, you got a quarterback that can pass the ball, but for some reason you want to run this guy like he... a fullback and get him hurt, but you protected Brock Purdy in that playoff game. You let him throw it, but you want to let Lance go up against them big old defensive linemen like he built. He built for it, but that's not a position. But I just want to say this: I feel like the Niners need to just let Lance develop, play him, quit trying to cheat the system. Look at Jalen Hurts last year. The media talking bad about him. His own fans talking bad about him. Look at him now. He's in the playoffs. You look the last 4 or 5 years in the Super Bowl. You need a quarterback to get the ball downfield or do a threat. Look at who's in the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. Like, stop trying to cheat the system. Trey can do it. I believe in him. Like,
I do too.
Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna do it for us. And one thing about Purdy was not getting away from that defensive line. Think about this for a second. If it was switched around, right, and we had Minshew coming in for the championship game in San Francisco, seriously, are y'all picking Minshew to beat the 49ers?
No.
Let's get real. Okay, then. So we need to be real about this and let Lance develop. He has all the physical tools. If C.J. Beathard and Mullis can run his offense, you telling me Lance can't do it?
Yeah, I think Lance could do it. Rob. I'm a Trey Lance believer. I want him to get his shot, and he's going to get his shot. Mm-hmm. It sounds like he will get an opportunity to take back over this football team. And look, we didn't see enough from him. Think about this, Alan. Let's just go down the rabbit hole with Trey Lance for a second. He played a full season of college football in 2019. Mm-hmm. They won the FCS National Championship. Played 1 game in 2020 due to the COVID year. Started twice in 2021. Arizona when they were undefeated, the Houston, Texas game. He ran 16 times in the Arizona game. Got cracked at the goal line over and over and over. Did not look pretty. Houston looked a lot better after struggling in the first half. Looked really good in the second. This year, he started 2 games. That's 5 starts since 2019. 5 starts. There's so much he has to catch up with. The speed of the game, the offense, the rapport with Deebo Samuel, which he didn't get last offseason because Deebo was doing his old diva tactics and hanging out in Miami and working out on his own, where Trey Lance is throwing with Brandon Ayuk. I still believe in Trey Lance, but the pressure on him to develop after everybody was swept away by Brock Purdy. Look around the Brock Purdy jersey right now. Guy started Played 8 games. She already has a Purdy jersey.
Yeah.
So now you got to deal with the fans that fell in love with Brock Purdy. And the minute Trey struggles, all the hounds are going to be out.
Yeah.
It's going to be out. It's truth, Alan.
Well, I can't really blame him. Brock Purdy, he's got the story, and he was playing very well. Now, numbers-wise, if you look at him, they're not ridiculously different than Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's the way it looked. Everything looked smoother. Everything looked comfortable with Brock Purdy. Here's the thing about Trey Lance, and some people think that I'm a Trey Lance truther. I don't think I'm necessarily a Trey Lance truther. I just want him to get his shot, and I know he got injured this year, so he technically got it. But even myself, Bonte, I don't know where you're at with this, but even myself, this is it for Trey Lance. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's just the nature of the beast. If you have to get it going, and I know he hasn't been able to develop because he's been injured, but that's just the way things go. Come this season, nobody's going to be thinking about those picks anymore. They got to deal with who is on the roster, and they got to do whatever they can do to get over the hump. So Trey Lance, this is it.
And let me ask you this. Can I see Trey Lance? I would like to see Trey Lance run the same playbook that Brock and Jimmy ran. Do you believe that was the same playbook?
No, absolutely not. Because
is it because Trey wasn't ready? Or was it because Shanahan thought he could use him as a runner, and that was an advantage for him?
I thought that the Brock Purdy playbook was a souped-up version of the Jimmy Garoppolo playbook. Same book, different chapters. Trey Lance had a completely different book. You got to go to a different Barnes & Noble to get the book that Trey Lance had. And maybe, look, if you want to believe in Kyle Shanahan in terms of he knows his guys, then maybe he doesn't think that Trey can make a lot of those plays. The quick throws, those were the issues. We know he can throw the long ball, but those plays that Brock, it's somewhere in between. Because those plays that Brock Purdy was making up the middle, Trey can make those throws. You know why I think Trey can make those throws? Because let's be honest, they were wide open.
Wide open.
Hey, diddle, Kittle up the middle. He was wide open.
Dude, that Seahawks game, Ayuk, Debo,
they're open.
Kittle were wide open.
Now, some of that is scheme, and some of that is Brock Purdy avoiding the pass rush. I'm not taking away from Brock Purdy. But Trey Lance, you got to imagine, can be just as slippery in the pocket or close to it. And if you give yourself that time, that's where Kyle Shanahan works. When things did get tight, when the Niners played better teams, Brock Purdy didn't look the same.
No, he didn't.
It's similar.
He didn't. He struggled in 3 straight first halves.
They were wide, and I'm not. That's not to take anything from Brock Purdy, because some of the reasons they were wide open is because he was able to not get sacked like maybe a Jimmy would. But he was wide. Let's not act like he was threading the needle. The needle that he threaded the most was the Brandon Ayuk play when they were already up big, and Brandon Ayuk dropped it. That play was incredible.
It was incredible. Matter of fact, it was 4 straight first halves. The Washington game, Brock Purdy struggled in that first half. He struggled in the first half against Arizona. He struggled in the first half against Seattle. And when that Dallas Cowboys defense came to town, boy, did Shanahan get conservative with Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Let's not if that was Jimmy Garoppolo, take the name off, take Purdy's name off, and slap on Garoppolo, change the numbers. The conversation would be totally different about the way the quarterback looked in those first halves.
Right.
The last 4 first halves for Brock Purdy.
And that's why, people you either have to love something or hate something.
I just think people hate Garoppolo.
Well, yeah, that's true, but in this society, you can't be in the middle. It has to be you love him or hate him, and everybody wanted to give Brock Purdy the gold jacket. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy isn't playing well. Look, I'm with the ride and dirty with Purdy too, but I don't have to give him a gold jacket based on what I've seen him do. I don't even have to give him QB1. When he comes back, him and Trey can battle it out and go from there. That's it.
I want people to chew on this during the break, and we want to take some calls here. Larry and Ariel, hang on tight. We got a break here for a second, but I want to play this cup going out to break. Here's what Shanahan said when he was asked about if there was any hesitation about his play calling with all his quarterbacks getting hurt.
When you ask that question, though, I understand, but I think if you looked at the injuries, common sense would answer that question. I mean, how have they gotten hurt? I mean, I'm sorry Josh got a concussion when he hit the ground. So that's the 4th one you're talking about. I'm sorry our quarterback got his elbow bent backwards on a normal drop back pass. I'm sorry on a drop back pass, someone rolled up on Jimmy's ankle. And then we have a dual threat quarterback who got hurt running the ball. So to throw all those 4 in that category, no quarterbacks got hurt when we had to hand it off the whole second half. So we can look into that.
Smug.
Wow.
How do people feel about that answer from Kyle Shanahan? By the way, we put a poll up yesterday on 95.7 The Game. Who should be the starting quarterback in Week 1? Trey Lance got 45% of the vote that he should be the starter Week 1. Brock Purdy, 38% of the vote that he should be the starter Week 1. A free agent, 10%. Jimmy Garoppolo, 6%.
Wow.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Got to see how many votes were there on that poll. We'll do that coming up. Larry, Ariel, hang on tight. The Morning Roast is going back to school. High school, that is. We want to highlight the best performances in the Bay Area prep scene. But we need the roasters to help us out. Send us an email at hss@957thegame.com and let us know where the big game are or who the big players are. And most importantly, when the big upsets happen. Email us right now at hss@957thegame.com. Also, your call's coming up. That's what's coming up, brought to you by Anheuser-Busch.
It's the Red and Gold reaction on 95.7 The Game.
Being a great player is doing year after year after year.
This is insane.
And I would say the same thing if Trey Lance did what Brock Purdy did.
See, I'm buying all my stock in Trey Lance. I never sold it.
Yeah, but
Red Eye right now. Brock is a top 15 quarterback right now in the NFL.
Brought to you by the SF Sheriff's Office. Your future begins here.
Bud Light is brewed to be a delicious, easy-to-drink beer. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Fast just got a whole lot faster. Xfinity has the fastest internet with up to 6 gig speed. Plus, Xfinity Mobile is the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. You heard that right. Xfinity just increased internet speeds again. And Xfinity Mobile gives you can't catch me speeds. The fastest internet, the fastest mobile service, and major savings? Can't argue with the facts. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gig internet with unlimited data included. It's all just $50 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/faster. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
Investing is confusing. Dawn raids, triple witching hour, candlesticks, crown jewels, bears, bulls, bear hugs, blue chips. It's one big word salad of uncertainty. Fortunately, Fremont Bank now has incredible rates on their savings accounts and CDs. And while savings accounts and CDs may not be known for their great rates at your current bank, at Fremont Bank, you can get great rates from a great local bank. To learn more, stop in or visit us online. We'll explain it all in plain language. Fremont Bank, serving the Bay Area since 1964. Member FDIC.
Don't waste time trying to get rid of your old or broken car. Cars for Kids is the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
Business owners, you may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify at paychex.com/ERTC. Paychex is proud to have helped more than 45,000 businesses secure over $9.2 billion in ERTC claims, an average of $190,000 per business. Paychex.com/ERTC.
No H2O is the leading waterless mobile auto detailer in the Bay Area, offering a full range of detailing services. No H2O comes to your home, business, or wherever is most convenient for you and gives your car a great wash with no water. No H2O auto detailing is ultra convenient and gets great scratch-free results for your car. And remember, no water is used. Call Brian today at 925-238-8182, 925-238-8182, or visit them at noh2owalnutcreek.com.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had two challenges: improve their brand presence and message and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. The result? An integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to kansascitysteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEBNOW1. That's 877-WEBNOW1.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Steve Kerr, and you're listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
The Red and Gold Reaction, brought to you by Boxer & Gerzer, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. Let's shout out YouTube, shout out Twitch, shout out the Xfinity mobile text line. Of course, download the Odyssey app, 95.7 The Game, thousands of other stations, and millions of podcasts are completely free on the Odyssey app. Sports talk, music, news, podcasts, all available completely free. Shout out to YouTube, of course, Twitch, and the Xfinity mobile text line. We got some calls here to get to. Just want to remind people, by the way, Alan Styles in for Joe Shasky the Butcher, doing a hell of a job here. We love Alan on the roast. He's a roaster. Who should be the starting quarterback for the Niners in week 1? Put this poll up yesterday, Alan. 3,291 votes. Trey Lance. He received 44.9% of the vote. Brock Purdy received 39% of the vote. Jimmy G, 6.3% of the vote. Signed a free agent, 9.8% of the vote. Trey Lance got most of the vote. He won.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I mean, well, is it a little bit by default, obviously, with
Brock Purdy injury.
Brock Purdy being injured. But I still think that's the correct choice. Right? You still did invest in him, and I know the further you get away from these picks and the draft year for Trey Lance, the less it matters. But you gotta just see what he can do if he can stay healthy. We don't know if he stays healthy and he plays well and he's able to do some things. Everything changes. We just don't know. I think what's bad is you look at some of the other guys that are struggling a little bit from that draft class. I mean, Jets are ready to move off of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's a bust.
And that's why I say this is probably it for Trey Lance, to be completely honest with you.
It's a big year for Justin Fields in Chicago.
It is. It is. Now, how long in Chicago? How long is it? Well, he doesn't have anything. And, even before he started really doing his thing with his feet, everybody's saying, well, he can't throw the football. He
has nobody to throw to.
Exactly. Well, they went out and got Mapletron. They went out and got Mapletron and tried to get some things there. I did want to say quickly, Bonte, so I put this up yesterday on Twitter. It's pretty interesting because we've been talking about Trey Lance running.
Right.
So I tried to look up Trey Lance's 40 time.
Right.
Turns out he did not run it at his pro day, right? And I don't think he ran it at the combine. I don't even know if he went to the combine, but he definitely He didn't run it because there was a whole article about it, and he said that there's this new thing. This is back in 2021. There's this new thing coming out. It's GPS, right? And basically the GPS tracks your speed, and then that equates to real-time speed of a 40 time versus what you would run at a combine or run at a pro day.
Right.
So based on that GPS, Trey Lance is thought to have run a 4.5, right? Well, Justin Fields did go to the combine.
Right.
And Justin Fields ran a 4.46.
Right.
And I said, look, Trey, that's a cute story, but that GPS thing is broken because there's no way that you are that close to Justin Fields. Not that from what I've seen.
Right.
He's just a different type of runner.
And look, when he gets in the open field, he can make things happen, but he doesn't have that wiggle like Lamar. He doesn't have that wiggle like Justin Fields. Trey Lance wants to throw the football. Now, I get it. He ran a lot at North Dakota State, a lot of powers. But he also can throw that thing from the pocket, this throwing arm. We saw him go hash mark to hash mark. Let him – I want to see him run the same playbook as Brock Purdy. If he can't run the same playbook as Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo, then you made the wrong decision.
Yeah, you got to get him out of there.
You made the wrong draft pick. Let's go to Larry in the city. Larry, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Larry?
Man, I ain't hating on Trey Lance. If he starts next year, I'm going to cheer for him just like I did Trey, just like I did Jimmy, just like I did Brock Purdy. But let's just be honest, man. It's time to quit playing about Trey Lance's upside. The upside did not equate to anything on the field. I watched this guy take 6 shots at fourth and 2 or less, and I watched him fail on 5 of them. The guy doesn't have the intangibles, and all this stuff about his great mechanics and his great arm. Dude, he made Jimmy G look like Peyton Manning. But I say this, if he starts next year and he shows me something like Brock Purdy did, then I'll be a Trey Lance fan. But right now, I didn't see anything that showed me that he should have even been picked as Mr. Irrelevant,
Wow. That's how you feel about Trey, Larry. I'm not mad at you. All right, 888-957-9570. Let's go to Eddie in San Jose. How does Eddie feel about the quarterback situation in San Francisco? What's up, Eddie? You're on the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, how you doing? This is Eddie from San Jose. I'm just wanting to talk about Brock Purdy, and I think he's really awesome. To only lose a game that you pretty much got injured in and didn't play it's really hard on somebody, especially someone young like that had everything, going for him. So I would just love to see him get a second chance to be the full starter and just put everybody else behind him,
All right, That's Eddie in San Jose. I want to play this real quick, Alan, and I want you to react to this. This was the last question of the press conference yesterday. Shanahan and John Lynch, the GM of the 49ers, met with the media for their end-of-season press conference, and they went through a lot of things. He was even asked about Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo, could he see if Jimmy Garoppolo's back? Here's what Shanahan had to say.
There's a scenario in which you guys could see Jimmy being back, and if so, what would that look like?
No, I don't see any scenario of that.
Doesn't see any scenario. So Jimmy Garoppolo's off the table. Tom Brady's off the table. He retired. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that's happening. That's off the table. Derek Carr, he's going to want to get paid. Do you really want to go through the Derek Carr experience in San Francisco? Do you folks really want to go through that?
It could work. But again, it's a money situation with Derek Carr as well. If the money works, it's not a crazy thought. But again, if you're going with Derek Carr, who he's no spring chicken, but he's not almost done. If you're going with Derek Carr, you're not keeping Trey and Brock. So basically, to me, if you bring in Derek Carr, you might as well try to get something back for Trey. Right. If that's the direction you're going to go.
And I don't even know if you could get something for Trey right now.
You get something.
What's his value? 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, 5th round pick.
Sometimes you just got to chalk it up as an L, Bonte.
Right, I agree. Shanahan was asked if he has any hesitation about his play calling with all his quarterbacks getting hurt. This was the last question of the press conference. Shanahan's answer was pretty riveting.
When you ask that question, though, I understand, but I think if you looked at the injuries, common sense would answer that question. How have they gotten hurt? I'm sorry Josh got a concussion when he hit the ground. So that's the 4th one you're talking about. I'm sorry our quarterback got his elbow bent backwards on a normal drop back pass. I'm sorry on a drop back pass, someone rolled up on Jimmy's ankle. And then we have a dual threat quarterback who got hurt running the ball. So to throw all those 4 in that category, no quarterbacks got hurt when we had to hand it off the whole second half, so we can look into that.
Shanahan. Not a lot of people are happy with that answer. I chuckled.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Well, no, it's funny you say that because I saw a lot of Niner fans, on social media and even just when you played it before the break on the Xfinity Mobile text line and on the YouTube chat. A lot of people loved it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
loved it.
My timeline, maybe we obviously we have two different timelines, but I saw some of the heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Were like, Shanahan, he's so smug. There's actually people out there who want Shanahan fired.
Yeah.
And they're going to pin this loss to the Eagles. Oh, see, I told you, Shanahan can't win the big one. You're rolling with Josh Johnson. And let's not forget, Brock Purdy, the fact that they made it that far with Mr. Irrelevant says a lot about Shanahan and his coaching prowess. I was thinking, I told Shasky in the middle of the game, I said, man, if Shanahan pulls this out with Josh Johnson, sign him to a lifetime deal. Sign him to a lifetime deal. Shanahan's my coach until the day I die.
No, but here's the thing, though. I do think that there is a world where Niner fans seem to be in a purgatory, but it's a really good purgatory. You're better than a lot of other teams. You're in the Final Four. You're in conference championships every single year. You're in the conversation,
right?
But you've been the bridesmaid, right? You've been the bridesmaid these last couple years, or you're not even getting to the altar sometimes. Right. So I can understand why Niner fans are upset. Calling for Kyle Shanahan's job, a little ridiculous.
It's reckless.
But I can understand why Niner fans are just, we came up short again. And I do think that there is a part of this that some people feel, obviously it's not his fault, quote unquote, but some people feel Shanahan has essentially another out. If we're being completely honest.
He does.
Right? He gets another.
Although,
it's legit. Don't get me wrong.
Listen, I'm still ticked off at the way Trey Lance was used.
Well, according to him, I got a dual threat QB. I got to run him.
Well, he got snarky after Trey Lance got hurt. Remember, he said, go watch Buffalo and see how they've run Josh Allen. And that next night, Josh Allen ran one time.
Yeah.
I mean, so I still have a bone to pick with him about the usage of Trey Lance because even my girl, Anna, she don't even know when the team's on offense.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Right.
She's now getting better, but that's where Anna is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we on offense. What's a first down? That's Anna. I don't even mean to roast my girl. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love her. Even the Chicago game, she goes, babe, is the quarterback supposed to get hit like this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's not.
Right.
He's not. Roquan Smith was tagging him on those quarterback runs. So I am a little ticked off about Shanahan and his usage of Trey Lance. You've drafted him to be a quarterback. I get you want to say a dual threat, but not like that. You're running him against linebackers.
Look, here's my thing. Sometimes, and we know everybody listening, no matter what job you have, sometimes, whether it's your job or whether it's your family, sometimes you have to say things that you don't even necessarily believe.
Right.
But you have to say things just because it takes the heat off you a little bit. This is what I would have said if I'm Kyle Shanahan. I would have said, look, I think we ran into some bad luck, but we don't want this to continue to happen. We've had some injury issues, not just the QBs, all over. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at some things and see where we can improve. We're always trying to improve. How simple is that? Instead of trying to be smug. And here's my thing for all the fans listening. Please chime in. Because I don't even know if they actually like what Shanahan said. Because I know you didn't like when Trey Lance got hurt.
Yeah,
I know you didn't like when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. Well, I know you didn't like when Brock Purdy got hurt.
Listen. We want to say I thought Shanahan could have put Trey in a better spot. Let's be real with Jimmy. Go back and watch the game against Miami. Jimmy rolling out to no man's land thinking he's going to outrun Phillips and Holland.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing.
Nobody knew what he was doing.
I didn't know what he was doing.
So if anybody got themselves hurt, it was Jimmy Garoppolo this season.
Sure. I just think that fans love to see an athlete or a coach dunk on the media, if you want to call that a dunk.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the context is, because you were upset when those guys got injured. Or maybe you think it's just bad luck. Look, Bonte, I ran a poll the day after the game. I said, at this point, what the Niners have been through, is it just bad luck, or are the Niners cursed? Are the Niners cursed? You know what the vote was? It was 50-50. It was 50-50. And no, there weren't only 2 votes.
Right.
All right? It was 50-50 because
15 votes.
Is that okay, Bonte?
16 votes.
You know what?
No,
It wasn't 3,000. I'll give you that much. So at what point will you say, man, they got to look at something? Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not even blaming Kyle Shanahan, but at least just sit there and say, yeah, we're going to look at some things, right?
No doubt.
Yes, Kyle, we know how everybody got injured.
And here, I want to clarify something. I see some clown responses on the Xfinity Mobile text line. I did not one time this year say fire Kyle Shanahan. Not once. Mm-hmm. I said if they didn't make the playoffs in this watered-down NFC, then Jed York needed to talk to Kyle Shanahan saying, yo, what's the problem? What's going on here? But not once did I ever say fire Kyle Shanahan. I've never said that during his tenure.
Yeah.
Ever. But I could be critical of him, especially when people want to come at me talking about he's the next Bill Walsh. If he's the next Bill Walsh, then you know what? There's levels to this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not going for it on fourth down in the NFC title game against the LA Rams in LA Rams territory? Not to look back at that situation. Why are you not challenging the Devontae Smith non-catch? We could be critical of Shanahan, but right now, I'm cool with him as our coach.
Right.
I'm cool.
Well, you should be, because if you did let go of Shanahan, there'd be a bevy of teams that would want Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, he'd be hired tomorrow.
But at the same time, I am not mad at any Niners fan that is just, man, it doesn't matter how you spin it. It doesn't matter if you want to put blame on Kyle Shanahan, you want to put blame on the fact that you need an exorcist, whatever. You didn't get it done. Mm-hmm. And if you're just upset that you didn't get it done with this Super Bowl roster that everybody keeps talking about, it's another season. So what happens next year? What if you just lose legit, nobody gets injured, and you're out? You know, so at some point, you know what it is, Bonte, and I know you've seen this too. A lot of people are starting to think, man, is Kyle Shanahan going to be what Andy Reid was for the Eagles?
It's possible.
It is.
It's possible. And when we go into year 7, we still don't know the long-term solution at quarterback.
But
that's the craziest part about it.
But here's the thing about the Andy Reid comparison. It was a happy ending for everybody. Andy Reid got his ring. The Eagles got their ring.
Got their ring.
And now one of them is going to get another one.
Yeah, they got their ring 5 years later. And Andy Reid flipped that franchise. But it got stale. Mm-hmm. No doubt it got stale.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. But it is wild to me that we're going to enter year 7 of Shanahan not knowing who the long-term quarterback is.
Right.
We think it's Brock. We hope it's Trey. But we have no idea. And that's all Niner fans want. They just want to wrap their arms around the guy. That's why everybody fell in love with Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. Mark Willard was in here. It feels like we finally got the guy. But I'm like, Mark, I felt like that with Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I felt like that with Jimmy. I felt like that with Trey. I'm over that now. I just want to see it now. I want to see it. Who's the guy? And going into year 7 of Shanahan, we still don't know who the guy is. Let's go to the lines, man. Lines are lit up right now. 888-957-9570. A lot of roasters out there want to chime in on a conversation. Let's start off with George in Los Altos. George, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, bro. How are you?
Good.
First of all, I love the broadcast that you and Joe put on in Philadelphia, man.
Thank you.
Sorry it didn't work out better. That was really killer. I loved it.
Yep. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. You can't blame Kyle for what happened with the injuries. I mean, come on. If that defensive lineman puts his arm 6 inches lower, you don't have that injury. If you let that pass go a half a second sooner, you don't have that injury. That's not on Kyle. I think in terms of the quarterback and what I saw out of Brock Purdy, I've never felt more confident in a Niner quarterback since Steve Young. When I saw Brock Purdy play this year.
Wow.
He's got it. He has it. He has all the skills that we need. Yeah, he's 6'1", but it doesn't matter. It's just his football sense. And you can see his ability to avoid getting tackled, how he gets out of trouble, how he throws the ball on the run. It's just beautiful. And I'm praying to God that he's able to come back and be our starting quarterback someday, because I think if he does, and he comes back healthy, he's going to be our guy for a long, long time.
Hey, you're out on Trey? You don't think he could be the guy?
No, I don't know enough about Trey because he's not on the field often enough.
Yeah.
And that's the big challenge here.
Yeah, that is the challenge.
Question.
No doubt.
Go into camp next year and forget about what Kyle just said about Jimmy. And you've got Trey and Jimmy. Do you want Jimmy in camp next year without knowing that Brock is hurt and not knowing what Trey is going to be? Would you want Jimmy there?
Yeah. I mean, you make a great point, and I'm the biggest Trey Lance fan around here. Mm-hmm. And I still don't know. And it's preposterous to think, okay, Niners are Super Bowl favorites and Trey's playing. Started 5 games since 2019.
Yeah.
That's not – I can't – look, I'm irrational at times. I say some things that are just absolutely wild. And I sit back and say, damn, why did I say that? But it's crazy to think that Trey Lance could be the week 1 starter and the Niners could still be Super Bowl favorites. Like, is Trey Lance going to Philadelphia right now and playing well against that team? I don't think so.
No.
Dallas, I don't think so. And the Niners are playing the NFC East next year.
Yeah.
So now you're going to play the big boys from Philadelphia, Dallas. The New York Giants have a ferocious defensive line. And then you got the Commanders who are getting Chase Young, a fully healthy Chase Young next year. I don't know if Trey's going to ever be ready. Do we want to wait for Trey to be ready? Do we want to wait for him to develop? No. These fans want a Super Bowl. They've lost 2 straight NFC title games, Alan. 3 of the last 4 years have been in the hunt. Niner fans want their guy.
Yeah.
And if it's Brock, then it's Brock, damn it.
That's fine. That's fine. When you look at what Brock Purdy, the whole thing, we can sit here and go back and forth. Brock's got to be our guy. We don't know when Brock's coming back.
We have no
idea.
idea.
So I don't even know how we can have this conversation because we have no clue when Brock's coming back. If Brock comes back in the preseason, yeah, Brock will have the edge, and they'll go back and forth between him and Trey, and I would imagine it would be Brock to start the season, if that's the situation. But we have no clue. We have no clue when Brock is coming back. And about the Jimmy piece of it, I just don't see the Niners bringing back Jimmy just to be around in case the other guys get hurt when we know Jimmy can't stay on the field either.
Why would Jimmy even want to come back?
And if you can afford Jimmy, that means everybody thinks that it's the system and not Jimmy.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't be able to afford Jimmy.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Jimmy should go out there and get paid. And Darnay's looking for a contract. Let's go to Gabe in San Jose. Gabe, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, just a real quick point. I'm going to repeat what another caller said. I'm not hating on Trey Lance. I think he's got some great skills. But I got to believe that since they got Christian McCaffrey, I think the expectation of the quarterbacks changed quite a bit. Those of us who remember the Niners of the 80s, when they had Bill Walsh and they had Roger Craig, and the quarterback was expected to throw the – I think you have a dual-threat running back now. And that's, I think, more important than having a dual-threat quarterback, which you have in Trey Lance. I think Brock Purdy provides the team, the way it's set up now, a better opportunity to win, not having the same skills that Trey Lance. But Brock Purdy showed that he was able to elude the rush and to allow plays to develop the way Garoppolo couldn't. So in my opinion, I think Purdy's the man. I don't know what they're going to do with Trey Lance, but I think having a dual-threat running back is way more important than having a dual-threat quarterback.
I don't even know why I'm going to ask this question. And thanks for the call, Gabe. Does Trey Lance deserve a shot with all these weapons? Because he hasn't played with all these weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play with CMC. He's played with Kittle one time. He had Debo and Ayuk. That's fine. Does he deserve to play with all these? Hell, we all forget Elijah Mitchell got hurt late first quarter against Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if, the sky is blue and Elijah Mitchell can't stay on the field. Shout out Elijah Mitchell, sorry.
Shout out Elijah.
That was me.
But he didn't even have Jeff Wilson Jr. was running through the ball, too, with no juice.
Yeah.
With no juice.
But here's the thing, Bonte, and you know how it is when you're coming up. Nobody deserves anything. Nobody deserves anything.
You have to go out there and take it.
You got to go out there and take it.
Go out there and earn it.
And Trey is in a situation now. All he can do is prove that he can be the guy. And if Brock Purdy is ready by preseason, he probably won't get that opportunity. But if Brock Purdy, it bleeds into the season and Trey gets rolling a bit, we know how Kyle Shanahan loves to roll with hot hands. I do not think that if the Niners are 3-0 or 2-0 or even 1-0, maybe not 1-0, I would say 3-0. If the Niners are 3-0 and Brock Purdy is ready to go and it's a good-looking 3-0 from Trey, I don't think that Kyle Shanahan would sit Trey and put Brock Purdy in. It would probably work itself out, but I do think Trey will have an opportunity. Yeah. We just don't know how long it is.
Yeah, how long is that leash? Kyle's man on YouTube. Bonte, talk about the O-line. Well, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's the quarterback.
Yeah.
You better fix this offensive line.
You can't have Tyler Kroft. That's what I would have asked. Did anybody ask that in the press conference?
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to talk about, I'm sorry, somebody.
Did.
Kyle, who was blocking Hassan Reddick on that play? I'm just curious.
I think he talked about it after the title game.
Yeah.
He basically said that's a basic play action pass. Everybody runs it.
So to be fair, Joe Thomas, longtime guy on the Browns, he came out and he said, you have to switch up how your line looks because the other team would know, okay, this is clearly a run, this is clearly play action. So I don't deny that it's nothing that the Niners haven't done before. But you were dealing with some bad boys with 4 guys and Hassan Reddick, T for Temple
4 guys. 8 guys.
8 guys.
That defensive line was sick.
So you got
Allen. They warmed up right in front of Shasky and I. We looked at each other and was like, damn. Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
You had the Davis kid from Georgia. You had Sue, Linval Joseph, Hargraves, Reddick. And, Brendan Graham, by the way, on the edge.
Yeah.
He was the smallest dude out there.
Right.
I said, damn, can't help like those guys?
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's tough because they were doing it to everybody, not just the Niners. They
70 sacks.
70 sacks, right? Historic stuff. So I understand why. People say, hey, that's not on Kyle Shanahan. I get it. But is it on Kyle Shanahan? Because people are going down the rabbit hole. Well, if you challenge the Devontae Smith play, somebody did say that Hassan Reddick, is he coming in that hard and gambling like that? If they're not up 7-0, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. But for Kyle to just completely dismiss it and act like it was just a ridiculous statement, look, and a lot of people liked his answer. I just felt that you can say, look, we're going to look at some things and not say I had nothing to do with it, just bad luck. When is the luck going to turn around then? You need to go to church. That's why I said you need to go to church. And if you go to church, Kyle, go to a different one.
I don't even know if God is helping that situation with the 49ers. Not with Jake Brindle at center.
Yeah.
Not with Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. You got to get beefier. And the defensive line got punished against Philadelphia.
Punked.
I mean,
they got punked.
Javon Kinlaw. I've pulled for him.
So did you see he updated his Instagram?
Yeah, what is that? Explain to me what that is.
I'm the scapegoat. Yeah, Brad, you got pancaked.
I mean, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times.
I think there's an imprint on Lincoln Financial.
Blowing holes open, running right over number 99. That was depressing. To see that happen to that young man, he looked helpless.
But again, this is why, when we go through the season and people speak on other teams because you saw them, and to be fair, no, we're not catching a lot of Eagles games, right? We don't get the games, and if you got red zone or ticket, there's too much NFL ticket, there's too much going on. So I get all that, but there's a reason these guys are playing that way, and regardless of who the QB was, the Eagles did show this is why we've been about that life. This is what we do.
They own the trenches.
Exactly.
And that's what wins Super Bowls.
Exactly.
And the 2 straight NFC championship games, hell, the 4th quarter of Super Bowl 54, the trenches got dominated by the opposing team. The Chiefs, the Rams, and the Eagles. So that's a problem.
So to me, that was what I took away from the Eagles game because we were talking during the break. I mean, Jalen didn't look outstanding. He had A.J. Brown early before anything was really decided. He missed him. So what we did take away is that they got a pass rush and they got an offensive line, which are the 2 most important things.
And they can run that ball. Kenneth Gainwell was a problem. We're going to go back out to the Lions in a second. Here's Shanahan on Trey Lance and whether or not he'll be ready for OTAs.
It sounds like he'll be pretty close around phase 1, phase 2. OTAs is the 3rd phase, which I think that's 5 weeks after phase 1. So we'll see in phase 1. They're saying right around that time. So hopefully we'll be able to ease him in with drill work and things like that. And then by OTAs, he'll be able to go.
Hey, Shanahan, how will you handle the quarterback situation next season?
I don't think there's much to handle. One guy can't go, and the other guy should be ready for OTAs. So OTAs haven't been that consistent over the last 3-4 years since COVID. They keep being a little bit more different each year, so it's not as big of a deal as it used to be, but it sounds like we'll at least have one guy for it.
Coach Shanahan, will Brock Purdy be the starter week 1?
Things I haven't even thought about at all. So right now we're just working on coaches, and I think that stuff will play itself out by training camp.
What about a veteran quarterback, Coach Shanny?
I know we have 2 starters on our team right now that I believe we can win with. So when you have that situation, you're not that eager to go looking around.
What about Jimmy G?
I wish you guys could see Jimmy being back, and if so, what would that look like?
No, I don't see any scenario of that.
Coach Shanahan yesterday at his 49ers presser. Let's take some calls real quick, Alan. Austin in the Bay. Austin in the Bay area. What's up, man? You're on the roast.
Yo, good morning. Good morning. I'm doing good. I'm gonna see if I can get all this out. Hey, I'm gonna give Jimmy G a round of applause. I'm gonna thank him for being a 49er on the 49er team and showing Brock Purdy how to be Brock Purdy. You guys got to remember when Jimmy first came to the league, he was doing what Brock Purdy things for the 49ers, going out of the pocket. That's how he injured his ACL, right? He did that.
You're right.
Then one more thing I want to say about this Trey Lance dude. How Coach Shanahan put him in the game, man. Hey, that's not how you supposed to use Trey Lance. You're supposed to use him like a Kaepernick, pit weapons around him so he can actually do what Trey Lance could do, because that's what we drafted. You look at his draft videos and all that. That's what he had. He had weapons that can go downfield. We don't have that. So, Kyle Shanahan, once he takes a look at some Kaepernick videos or whatnot, and then indicate that with Trey Lance. Other than that, that's all I got. And thank you, Jimmy G.
All right. Thanks, Austin, for the phone call. Let's go to Ryan in Santa Rosa real quick. Ryan in Santa Rosa. What's happening?
Hey, how's it going, Bonte? Hey, first, just wanted to say it was awesome with you guys in Philly. I love following you guys on Instagram.
Oh, thank
that
you.
was epic.
Thank you. You got to say good morning to Alan Styles as well. Alan's over here. There's no chopped liver, Ryan.
Hey, and then, hey, how's it going? So, yeah, I got two things. First of all, I like that you guys touched on the offensive line, because there's no way I want to see Mike McGlinchey back. I've seen more than enough of that. Don't want to see it ever again. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for your work. Want to see a revamped right side of the offensive line. But second of all, my opinion on Trey Lance. I think Trey's good. He can do great things. It's just more of the scheme with Shanahan. I've seen him start a few games so far. And if Shanahan is going to run that kind of scheme with Trey Lance, where I'm seeing 10 to 20 QB designed runs up the middle of the game, I want nothing to do with that. I don't think that is a scheme that can work in the NFL or for the 49ers. I think it is destructive, and I want nothing to do with it. So if Trey Lance is going to come back and be the starter on those terms, I know talking to other people, they want nothing to do with it either. I hope it changes. But other than that, I hope Brock Purdy gets better and go Niners.
Yeah, no, that's a great call, Ryan. And going back to, just the running QB in general, yesterday Kyle Shanahan referred to Trey Lance as a dual threat quarterback. They're all one hit away from this thing being over, right? I mean, every quarterback is really, but you are putting yourself in harm's way a bit more. And to the previous caller's point about the Colin Kaepernick running those types of schemes, that's the thing, Bonte. That's why I referenced Justin Fields and his 40 time. When you look at Trey Lance, there were actually articles written as well. I don't think Trey Lance can get to the outside like that.
No, he can't.
Honestly, and how FCS football translates to the NFL, I know he ran a lot in the FCS. I get all that. But to me, Trey Lance feels like Now, I'm only talking scrambling wise, not throwing the football. But the way he scrambles would be maybe a good bit more or a good bit better than what Patrick Mahomes does.
Right.
Yes, you can have some, because Patrick Mahomes, they don't even have any designed runs. It's only scrambles. So yes, designed runs, but also a lot of just scrambling the football. You forget about Trey, and he gets chug-a-lugging down the field. But to be fair, the only way you can do that is if Trey is hitting on his throws. And that's what everybody was saying. Kyle Shanahan now, I think the confusing thing is people say how much he ran back, at North Dakota State and all that good stuff. Everybody talks about that. But I don't know that Kyle Shanahan, this was the plan when he was specifically drafted, because we heard that, and then we heard, his throwing isn't where it needs to be, so Kyle's running him more. So which is it? I still don't know.
I don't know either. Kyle Matson, get in here.
I think the other thing, just to kind of piggyback off of Alan's point, Trey Lance never had to protect himself at the FCS level. That's a skill for quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Like, look at Russell Wilson. He ran a ton, never really got hit. Lamar Jackson doesn't get hit super hard. Cam Newton got rocked all the time. Same thing with Josh Allen. You have to learn to protect yourself when you're running the football, and that's something that I think Trey needs to improve on as well.
Trey's got to learn how to do that, but it's tough to, hurry up and get down when you're running through the A-gap. When you're running up against linebackers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you got to make a quick decision. Do I just slide right there in front of linebackers? They still may pop you.
Yeah.
They still may pop. We see dudes get hit all the time. Let's go out to the lines again. We got Justin, Rick, and Rich, and we'll get to everybody before we get Anthony Slater here at the top of the hour. Benjamin Albright, 8:30. Slater to talk about the Dubs. I'm still frustrated over that game last night. The Dubs are lucky the quarterback situation is going the way it's going for the 49ers. I mean, that loss last night, I couldn't sleep, Alan. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. It was ugly.
I thought they turned the corner. I'm watching them against OKC. I said, oh, man, these rotations are serious. They look like they're serious. Okay, you blew a 20-point lead. You won the game. All right, let's go. Warriors are back. They're 5th place in the West. I'm feeling good. And then D-Lo goes crazy. Curry goes cold. Curry turns the ball over. Draymond turns the ball over. Poole can't hit a shot down the stretch. Wiggins has a wide open duck. Ball slips right out of his hands. Goes 50 feet in the air. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. And now it's turning into a thing, I think. So now it's moving to the mental aspect where it's, okay, we have a lead. Are we going to blow this again? So they got to fight through it, man.
It's all bad. Let's go to Rich in Oakland. Rich, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just to touch bases really quickly when it comes to the whole quarterback controversy, I can honestly tell you as a non-Niner fan that the boy Purdy is a threat. He was, touching bases on what that first caller said about the most confidence they've ever seen in a Niners quarterback. Absolutely. A lot of us who were sitting there watching that game, again, non-Niners fans, we thought that San Francisco was going to take it all the way. In my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, they need to stick with Brock. That's all I want to say. Good morning, and I love you guys.
All right, thanks, Rich. Hey, I respect that. Brock Purdy for president. Rick in Stockton, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, yo, man, we need to stop imploding on the team. How y'all doing? Good morning, bro.
Good morning, man. Good morning.
Tagging on our team, man. Everybody's seen Kinlaw get double teamed. Everybody's seen Boza getting the bro hug by Mulata. We need to chill. But at quarterback, man, I say Brock Purdy. I say it should be Brock Purdy, but I know he hurt, so we got to go with Lance. And we got to go with Lance. And we got to draft another guy. We got 3 back-to-back picks, man. I say the UCLA quarterback, the
Dorian Thomas, what is his name? Dorian Thompson. I feel DTP, is it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Max Duggan. I'm talking about like
Max Duggan from TCU.
Like they should be like in the fourth, fifth round. I mean, just to come up on somebody to add. Because really, reason why we lost the game is because John Lynch. Everybody, we were so happy with the Brock Purdy magic. And when he got hurt early in the season, we should have been like, hey, we needed another quarterback because we should pick up anybody. This is where we should have picked up our veteran at. But the season is over with, and we're going on to, man, I'm a Kings fan hoping that the Warriors don't get in the playoffs and knock us out, man.
All right, Rick, thanks for the call, man. Good call, man. Look,
DTR.
after last season, DTR.
Yeah.
Dorian Thompson
Robinson,
DTR.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And look, I'm done evaluating quarterbacks coming out of college.
You can't.
Brock Purdy, I was so wrong on. I did not see that happening. Brock Purdy.
Well, you weren't alone.
I mean,
he was the last pick in the draft.
Might as well be because everybody reminds me about it. It's like, man, I'm the only one who said that.
Yeah.
Everybody else ducked the smoke. I'll wear it. I'll wear it. I was wrong about Brock Purdy. So I'm done evaluating quarterbacks.
Well, and this is what it turns into, though, with Brock Purdy. And I hate to do this because I do love Brock. But what is Brock on the Texans? And I don't want to do that, but when people want to give him the gold jacket, I feel like,
I'm not.
Come on now.
Yeah. We saw limitations. All right, we'll get to the rest of the calls here. Mike, Oleg, Justin, hang tight. We got Anthony Slater. We'll be in and out with him, and then we'll get right back into the 49ers because people are running hot. I think people just want to forget about the Warriors game from last night. I mean, God, really? You lost to the T-Wolves like that?
Yeah.
Naj Reed went crazy. Naj Reed looked like Karl Malone yesterday.
How did your heart feel when he got that offensive rebound after he missed the 3 and then yammed it? That was rough.
I walked straight to the demo set at NBC Sports. I said, I can't believe they just lost this game. Because Willie Cody goes, yo, they're going to take a bad shot.
Yeah.
They're going to turn it over, and you're going to have a shot to tie the game.
Mm-hmm. You got to get that rebound. You need that Men in Black, just the little pen just to delete it from your memory.
I can't.
Yeah.
They got a back-to-back today. They're playing the Nuggets. Maybe get V550 tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's playing? Who's in? Who's out?
I think Steph's going to play, personally.
Played 43 minutes last night.
Yeah.
Here's Spadoni. What's up, Bay 510 area? I couldn't sleep last night. I take losses hard, Bay 510 area. I take them hard. I don't like losing. I don't like losing to Connect 4. I don't like losing in Monopoly. I don't like losing in Madden. I don't like losing. I don't like losing a window seat on the plane when you're picking your seats. I hate losing, Alan. So it bothers me when I try to go to bed. It does.
I believe you.
Injury report. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They addressed the media. We played a lot of sound. They addressed the media yesterday and offered their own update on Brock Purdy. Lynch mentioned that Purdy is continuing to get different opinions on his injured UCL. Lynch added that the most consistent approach for the injury is a 6-month recovery window. While the Niners continue to meet with medical professionals regarding his injured elbow, Lynch and Shanahan are confident that Purdy will be ready to suit up and be back 100% by the end of the 6-month recovery window. So, Alan, you went to Temple. I went to SF State. I'm not sure if you're a math major. I know I'm not, but 6 months here. All right, if you get your surgery, say, tomorrow.
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July, August. That means he's back September?
He's back. Well, that's the thing. Is he back? He's not back 100%, right? He's back on a throwing
There's
program.
no way he's going to be back by week 1. He's ready to go.
If that 6 months
way.
means he's back 100%, great. But I feel like that means he's back beginning his throwing program.
Oh, God.
And a lot of people were saying, sometimes your arm comes back stronger. Yeah, that's true.
Jake Delhomme said that yesterday with us.
I'm sure that's true, but let's not act like this is Rookie of the Year here. He's not going to be Rowan Gardner when he comes back.
The injury report brought to you by Boxer Girls, a Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. Mike, Frank, Oleg, hang tight. We'll get you in about 10 minutes. We got Slater. We'll be in and out. I don't even want to talk about the Warriors right now because I'm so frustrated about them. We'll get to your calls, get right back into the Niners here in the Morning Roast.
It's the Red and Gold reaction on 95.7 The Game.
The bottom line is there's a system in place for a coach who doesn't think that a call was correct. And that is you reach into your pocket and you pull out a red hanky with a slightly weighted ball on it and you loft it onto the playing field.
Brought to you by Zenni, the official eyewear of the San Francisco 49ers. Shop from over 3,000 styles at 80% off retail prices. Exclusively at Zenni.com.
If you have a tax problem, then you have a legal problem. And that means you need a tax attorney. Hey, this is Joe Shasky here to talk about the tax and crypto attorneys and accountants at Kugelman Law. Maybe you have unfiled tax returns. Maybe you have offshore accounts or receive money from a relative overseas. Maybe your small business is facing an audit. Regardless of the tax problem you have, the Kugelman Law Team can help. So visit sftaxteam.com today. I have met with their attorneys and know about their honest and ethical approach to providing effective and efficient resolutions for all your tax needs. They strive to educate their clients about IRS practices and evaluate possible solutions, all while providing you with straightforward and transparent pricing. If you're facing a tax problem, then you're facing a legal problem. So you should contact the Kugelman Law Tax and Crypto Attorneys today at sftaxteam.com. That's sftaxteam.com.
Alexander Kugelman, Managing Attorney, 21 Tamil Vista Boulevard, Suite 202, Corte Madera, California, 94929. This paid endorsement does not constitute a guarantee or prediction of results.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Get started for just $49.99 a month. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 50 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile Savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
Golfers, tee it up at the Golf Mart and go farther and faster with the new G430 woods and irons from Ping. The Ping G430 woods introduce the next generation of speed with new face technology for longer and more accurate shots. The new Ping G430 irons are designed with pure flex technology for faster ball speed and more distance. Swing into the Golf Mart and get custom fit on the new Ping G430 woods and irons today. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Everyone knows time is money, so don't wait weeks for the IRS to send out your tax refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt instead for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee tax refund advance loan. With up to $3,500, you could bring home the bacon and bring it home today. Money now instead of later? That's worth its weight in gold. Don't wait weeks for your refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt today. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company, details at jacksonhewitt.com.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Chris, this needs to go to Parkville by 3.
Joy to the holiday packages that keep coming at Jimenez Couriers.
It's coming your way, but the drop-off location is changing.
She needs delivery drivers with the gift of punctuality.
Anyone looking to pick up some overtime? Anyone?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's it like to go to the South Pole? How do some animals change color? Can you catch a liar?
That's dangerous territory.
Can you trust a gut feeling? What about yawns?
Yes, yawning is contagious.
Mike Simpson here, and on my podcast, I've Got Questions. We go through all these things we're curious about and some stuff you probably don't expect.
Yo, strawberries are not even fruits at all.
So what are they? I've Got Questions. New episodes Thursdays on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
He's the best interview in the Bay Area.
Steve Kerr, Warrior head coach here on 95.7 The Game.
When those nights happen, I kick myself afterwards for not walking into the locker room and banging on the walls, during our pregame meeting and yelling, do you guys understand what's about to happen?
And he's on with Damon and Ratto every single week during the NBA season.
Wow.
Steve Kerr on 95.7 The Game. Presented by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Are you ready?
Every pro is an MVP to us. As a Lowe's MVP's Rewards member, you can earn bonus points when you shop select products and brands. Then redeem them for exciting rewards like tools, sports memorabilia, e-gift cards, and more. Join today to become a member and start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms while supplies last. Points expire at end of calendar year. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. A lot going on in the Bay Area. We're going to take a pause from the Niners. Mike and Frank, hang on tight. We'll get to you afterwards. As Shanahan spoke to the press yesterday in the season presser. And as we say, good morning to everybody out there. Niners quarterback situation up in flux, although there's differing opinions on Brock Purdy. Jake Delhomme said he was throwing 3 months after his UCL surgery. But what if Brock Purdy needs full Tommy John? We still have no idea. Is it Trey's time? Trey Lance? We'll get back to that. In the meantime, we got to get to Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game insider. He joins us on the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And Anthony, hopefully you stay warm in Minnesota, number one. Number two, maybe the air got through the target center yesterday in the second half because the Warriors couldn't hit a shot after scoring 71 in the first half and scored 43 the rest of the way. They couldn't hit a shot. They couldn't take care of the basketball. And they blow their 8th game in which they had a double-digit lead. I mean, maybe this is just who they are this season, Anthony. I don't know. I'm getting a little frustrated just watching the game yesterday. I took that one hard last night. I did, man, after the week I had. Maybe this is just who the Warriors are, Anthony Slater. And good morning to you, by the way.
Why are you so invested? Don't be so invested. Don't. They're 500 team. Don't have expectations.
Man, I can't help it, Anthony. Man, my emotions getting the best of me right now, man. I swear to God, they were up 98-85. I was like, man, the Warriors really have turned the corner. Okay, now we're starting to get back to championship talk. Trade deadline's coming up. They're rolling. Then I don't know what the hell happened over the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter into overtime.
You said 98-85. You remember how the Wolves made it 87?
Turnover, right?
It was that play where Nas Reed bumps into Draymond, tries a bad lefty hook, misses it. They get a stop. Mm-hmm. Draymond gives it to Steph, and he just throws it right back to Nas Reed. Nas Reed gets the layup. Yeah, it was bad. It was referenced post game. Like Steve and Steph both talked about that turnover as that kind of flipped everything. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, how about the one where Steph's dribbling it up and Looney and Draymond are just not even looking at it and running up the court, and he just throws it out of bounds.
That was unbelievable. Steph had some atrocious turnovers. Even the first quarter, first 3 minutes of the game, they had 3 right off the rip. Then they had 2 over the next 21 minutes of the first half. But Steph threw one away in the first couple minutes of the game. It's like Steph is just a little too loose with the basketball. That's your leader. That's your guy. It's not the youngsters. It's Steph. 5 turnovers yesterday, and you get another 4 from Draymond.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a one-game thing. I mean, it's not like he's immune to this even in his best seasons ever. I mean, in the playoffs, in their championships, I mean, we all know the behind the back where it's throwing the trophy out of bounds. That's like the famous meme. But they've just done it so much this season, and it's a season that I think, I mean, look, they're sitting there at 26 and 25, and the bigger picture issues that we talk about so much are the young guys. There's the 2-timeline plan, the front office's roster build, the trade deadline coming up. What should they do? But the reality is, and Steph admitted it last night, if they haven't gifted between 6 and 8 games away that they should have won, 3 in the last, 13 days, I believe it is. The Boston one, the Brooklyn one at home. They're up 17-12 in the final 5 minutes. And then last night, they're sitting there at 30 and 21 or something like that right now, and they're third in the West. That's just if the veterans had just closed reasonably well in situations that, I mean, they're up 4 in Charlotte with a minute left. They're up 4 with 7 seconds left in Utah.
They scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes against Miami. Go ahead, Styles.
Yeah, no, Anthony, I was just going to say, because you said, the vets, and we've been talking about the vets specifically, that rotation has been between 7 and 9. How much of this, when you look at when these breakdowns are happening in the fourth quarter, how much of this could just be these guys? We know Steph, his endurance is great, but how much of this could be these guys starting to get a bit tired? I mean, they're not spring chickens, and Steph trying to go Dirk Nowitzki a couple different times, at the end of the game and going front rim. How much of that could just be these guys, or, they're just getting a little tired?
I asked that to Steve Kerr directly last night. He said no. He's like, we took yesterday off. They're probably not going to play tonight. They haven't released that. That's not official, but they clearly attacked the game as if they wanted to win that one. And knowing you got a night off, Steph missed 3-4 weeks recently. He's been refreshed. I mean, Kerr has talked about the type of pop he's had. That wasn't a game yesterday. I've been on long road trips. That was just the second game of a 3-game road trip. It didn't feel like fatigue should have been a factor last night. It just felt like concentration was. And, obviously if you're tired, that can lead to, mental fatigue in a sense, but I don't think that's the proper excuse yesterday. And he did condense the rotation. But, again, Jonathan Kuminga was fine in his bench minutes last night. It's not like Anthony Lamb was a major problem. He only played 7 first-half minutes. JaMychal Green's been decent when he's tried him lately. He has not put him in the game the last few. I'm still somewhat of a Moses Moody believer. I'm not sitting here ready to blame the depth for what happened yesterday.
Anthony, when you talk about the length, and we do this every year with the Warriors, you need a big, we're getting killed on the boards, and then the playoffs come, and Andrew Wiggins becomes a rebounding machine. But the player that doesn't play, they always get kind of the most airtime in terms of what the fans want. And who I've been hearing a lot, he's got this frame. It's PBJ, Patrick Baldwin Jr. He's got this long frame. He can hit the three. Maybe he can help out defensively and rebounding. What has Steve Kerr seen or not seen from Patrick Baldwin Jr. for him to, obviously he's a rookie, but just for everybody out there that listens that's curious, why can't this kid get minutes? Or why do you think that is?
By the way, I thought that question felt like a James Wiseman setup question before you you swerved on me right there.
No, he doesn't even come up anymore. Look, and you can apply it to both, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, you can apply it to about half the roster at this point. But with Baldwin, I mean, he is not physical enough at this stage of his life or career to believe he could be like Otto Porter, right? Because Otto Porter could hit the three, stretch the floor, but also could bang down low, could start in a Memphis series and give you kind of rugged minutes. Like Baldwin, not only, thin, he's, a teenager essentially, but he's had injury issues in his past. I mean, he's just getting over this pretty horrific ankle injury. He went, 2 years basically trying to rehabilitate his ankle. It's just, I've liked little glimpses you've seen. Mostly what I've liked is he can shoot on the move. His catch and shoot looks pure. He looks like a future 42% 3-point shooter. Honestly, who he reminds me of a little bit, and I don't want to overdo it here, but the guy you'll maybe see tonight, Michael Porter Jr. Just a shot. But one of Michael Porter Jr.'s problems is he's not physical defensively at all. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't really defend that much. We'll see. They're trying to work on that with Patrick Baldwin, but just at this stage of his NBA life, which is in its infancy, I don't think he's ready to be like I said, like an Otto Porter.
Anthony Slater joining us via the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Let me pass some information to you, Slater. You'll love this, and to all the Niner fans out there who are hoping that Vic Fangio would be the defensive coordinator next season. Vic Fangio has decided to take the Dolphins job. He's going to become the Dolphins defensive coordinator and will officially accept the position on the Miami staff after the Super Bowl. So that may make you happy. It may make Niner fans sad, Anthony.
You try to come in and steal him, but I think Vic looked at the rosters and he was like, do I go to the team of the future or the team of the past? The team that's fading. The team that doesn't know their quarterback situation. Not that the Dolphins, have nearly a settled QB situation themselves. But good choice by Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on from that and talk some more Warriors. You brought up Michael Porter Jr. and the Denver Nuggets. I like this Denver team, Anthony. I think they revamped it. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray's back. I think Aaron Gordon is a lot better. Aaron Gordon, from San Jose and Midi. And Midi of San Jose, I should say. And then, of course, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown. I like this roster a lot, and we're probably not going to see a lot of the core four, right, tonight. They're probably going to low manage and go against the Denver Nuggets A squad while the Warriors bring out their B squad.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed to be the indication, the hints last night. Again, they're like, they always do we'll go back with Rick Celebrini on the plane ride and really discuss workloads and everything. But, again, every time they've mapped out this second night of road back-to-backs where they're traveling city to city, and they have tough nights the night before, they sit the guys. And that seemed to be the expectation internally last night. Maybe it's possible a couple of the veterans play, but I'd expect, the Ty Jerome show again. And you know what? Last time I saw it, I was intrigued, right? That Cleveland game.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily expect a repeat of that tonight against Denver. But it's, yeah, I mean, it sets up as a mismatch. I believe Vegas, I saw the line, they're expecting the Stars to rest at 10.5 to Denver.
Jesus Christ. Denver looks legit, man, and hopefully we can see the Warriors and Nuggets play at full strength like they did in game number 2 at Chase Center when the Nuggets came to Chase and put up 70 in the first half. Disappointing loss. Slater, you're the man. We'll talk soon, man. We're getting back to the Niners and living this depression world that is 49er football right now, man. That hurt me, man. I can't believe you said that. Team of the past. I heard Slater.
I'm being a hater, but I know I could tell the Vic Fangio news that stung you, so I might have to tune into your next segment to hear you really dive into that one.
Hey, have you ever been to an Eagles game as a visiting fan?
No, I wish. I've been right around the stadium, but it's never lined up when I've been in Philly.
Be careful. And bring the goons with you. Let me just say.
All right, I feel you.
All right, Anthony, have a good one, man. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game insider, joining us via the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Let's get back to the lines, Alan. Any takeaways? First, any takeaways from the Warriors, man? They were going to play different tonight, and it's going to frustrate us, and we'll talk about it tomorrow as we break down Ty Jerome and hopefully James Wiseman. How about James Wiseman? Not playing at all.
No.
JaMychal Green, not playing at all. Hey, by the way, suit up tonight. You got to guard Nikola Jokic.
It's just, and I hate the word fair, but now what's he going to do tonight? I guess at the very least, all of our expectations got to be extremely low for this game, so it's hard to get let down when you have low expectations. The Cleveland game, by the way, there was no Donovan Mitchell, so unless Denver's sitting somebody,
Jokic, Gordon,
somebody, please,
Murray,
please, don't they need a rest?
Yeah,
just give them a break.
Even though you had a day off yesterday, you need another day off.
Yeah, it's getting late in the season.
Hey, James Wiseman, go ahead and guard Jokic. Right. And then Twitter's going to be just an absolute circus.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
can't win.
You can't win.
Literally.
Can't win them all. Let's go to Frank and Fresno. Frank, what's happening? You're in the roast. He wants to talk backup quarterback situation with the Niners. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, so nobody really brought up this point yet, and I'm kind of, or at least I haven't heard it yet. If you knew that Josh Johnson was your backup quarterback since, Brock Purdy came in, and that's basically what your backup looked like this whole time, why didn't they go after anybody else? Is there, nobody else out there, like a Cam Newton or even, a Ryan Fitzpatrick he could have brought in? If that's what
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick is working for Amazon. Cam Newton, I don't know how much he has left in the tank.
Yeah.
How much is he running away? Is he evading that rush from Philadelphia? I don't think so.
No. And did we even see I get it. Everybody is freaking out over, obviously, he dropped, like I said, I don't know if he had popcorn or what it was, but he dropped the shotgun snap. So everybody says, why was Josh Johnson in? He wasn't ready to go. My question would just simply be, well, if we believe Kyle Shanahan and everybody that was happy with Kyle Shanahan's answers and Kyle Shanahan is fine, then we have to believe that he felt that Josh Johnson was the best person for the job.
Right.
And if he doesn't, he fumbled and then he got a concussion. And look, I am in no way comparing the two, but if you remember, Patrick Mahomes, he had a ball where he didn't necessarily fumble the snap, but he went to throw it and he fumbled. Right. So this is just something that happened. So I'm not going to sit here and dive into all these other quarterbacks that nobody else wants because of a play from Josh Johnson.
Right.
When they did, it was very Christian McCaffrey heavy.
Right.
They did score. Then right after that, you got he did fumble the football. And then after that, he gets his head slammed. He's out of the game. Yeah. So I'm not really going to dive. I'm personally not going to dive into it too much because, look, sometimes y'all want me to trust Kyle Shanahan. Sometimes you don't. We can't keep doing this pick and choosing thing unless it's a buffet. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. By the way, Vic Fangio again has decided to join the Dolphins as their defensive coordinator, according to Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area. Fins up. Kyle Shanahan spoke with Vic Fangio about replacing DeMeco Ryans. Of course, he took the Dolphins job. The other known candidates at this time are former Panthers interim head coach Steve Wilks and Commanders DB coach Chris Harris.
Yeah. How again, we do this thing with the personnel. How important is it? Obviously, it's extremely important, but you got to be a pretty bad DC to mess up with this personnel, right?
You would think. However, it is got to be in the right sets.
Yeah.
It's an offensive league now, right? You got to call the right defenses. Is Steve Wilks a blitz guy? Is he going to be blitz heavy? Chris Harris, I don't know much about other than the fact that he played with the Chicago Bears for a cup of coffee. He had 2 stints with the Chicago Bears. He's been a coach now since 2013, defensive quality control coach. Then he coached with the Chargers for 3 years and in the Washington football team as a DB coach. Is he ready to be a defensive coordinator? We know Steve Wilks can be a defensive coordinator. Now I'm seeing some things on the YouTube chat roll here, and it's pretty wild. There's people out there who really want to trade Kyle Shanahan.
Like I said.
Joe on YouTube. Listen to this one, Alan. Listen to this one. Trade Shanahan. He has proven his poor draft picks and poor line play. His dad's blocking concepts have injured running backs and quarterbacks. Kyle's dismissal of this fact was a joke.
The last part of it, agree. The first part of it, do not agree. The way he dismissed it, you either loved it or hated it. Me personally, I just thought you could have said a little something more than that. But to move on from Kyle Shanahan, again, Sean Payton's gone. He's with the Broncos, so I don't know who you bring in. You're not there yet, but I could see some people, you turn the heat warmer isn't turned up all the way in your car, Bonte. But
no, we're not close to that.
But at what point, though?
Shanahan could go 5-12 next year, and his seat still may not be.
But again, going back to Andy Reid, and I don't know when Andy Reid, if he had a losing season when he finally left the Eagles, but you set the bar high.
Right.
Does that just mean? But if you don't get past the bar, what do you do, Bonte? I'm not saying we're there yet.
No, we're not.
I'm saying the bar has been set extremely high.
It has, and he set that bar.
But it's not the top.
No, it's not.
It's not the top.
Andy Reid's last season in Philadelphia, he was 4-12.
Okay,
that was after an 8-8 season.
Okay, so
but he went 11-5, 10. Look at these years Andy Reid had. First year as head coach, 5-11. He goes 11-5, 11-5, 12-4, 12-4, 13-3. Stumbles to 6-10. Bounces back to 10-6. Goes 8-8, 9-6-1, 11-5, 10-6. And then finally, 8-8 and 4-12, and it just felt stale at that point.
Yes, agreed.
Now, he was there in Philadelphia from 1999 through 2012. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Shanahan's entering year 7. Again, Shanahan can go 5-12 next season.
Yeah.
And he's not going anywhere.
Now, honestly,
nor should he.
You might feel differently because at least you didn't. At least you weren't knocking on the door again. You weren't the bridesmaid. You didn't even go to the wedding.
What if you develop Trey? If Brock's not ready to go and Trey takes the job, and you develop Trey Lance, they go 5-12. I know everybody's going to rip on Trey Lance. We know what's going to happen there. But Trey gets better.
Will it look better if you're 5-12, though?
But if you understand the context, knowing that, hey, first-year defense coordinator,
that just
quarterback
I don't
playing
see
the
that
full
world.
season.
You ran that could have been this year.
Yeah,
you missed out on that year because you were injured.
Yeah, I think that year was last year. I don't even think it was this year.
Right,
because Jimmy G was lurking.
Because everybody's going to say, why are we messing around with Trey when Brock Purdy did what he did?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go back out to the lines. We got Benjamin Albright joining us in a few minutes on the Morning Roast. We love Benjamin on the roast. Let's go to Anthony and Benicia. Anthony, what's happening?
Top of the morning, fellas. So I kind of wanted to go back to what Mr. Styles said. I'm not coming down the road or nothing because I think Styles is cool. But he did say that, like, if Trey don't show you something this year, like it's over or it's done. And I just feel like that's unfair because Trey he's never had a fair shot to this particular juncture. When we did see what he, quote unquote, could do, he treated him like a running quarterback. And I thought it was interesting that Kyle Shanahan said sorry to all 3 quarterbacks but Trey. Instead, he said that, I had a do-or-threat quarterback. But, when I think about a do-or-threat, I think about between someone that's like Aaron Rodgers in his first couple of years where he would just run to evade something and extend the play. Or if you think about somebody like Lamar who was like, I can really get out there and run and make it happen. And Trey isn't that type of quarterback.
Right.
So I think it's unfair to even consider him that. But that kind of stood out to me. I just think that it's unfair that people keep calling up and saying, like, it's over with Trey. He showed us what he can be in this, that, and the third when he only had, 5 starts or whatever the case may be. I think we really just need to take a step back. And, like, if you don't like Trey, honestly, just say you don't like Trey. But he hasn't shown you enough to say that he's a lost cause. Not you, but, like, the caller.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
He hasn't showed you anything.
Right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that. We haven't seen a lot from Trey Lance. And there's a lot of that, like, Trey's a bust. Trey's this, Trey's that. Let's put context matters.
Yeah. We hear that all the time. Guys, come on. We know he's not the one. How do we know that? And to Anthony's point, look, I didn't say it was fair. I never said that that's what should happen. I'm saying that's probably what will happen because you want to get Zach Wilson out the paint, and he hasn't been able, and he hasn't had a lot of time either.
No,
so it's not that I think that Trey should be done after this year. I'm just saying I think that's how it might go.
And let's be real. As Guru would say, he puts a rat on the table. Let's put the rat on the table. Mm-hmm. The conversation about black quarterbacks is completely different. Let's just put the rat on the table.
We were just talking
about that during the break.
We were talking about it during the break.
Right. The way we cover it, he's played 4 games. Mm-hmm. Started 4 games.
Yeah.
Completed 3 in half a quarter. Got banged up against Arizona. You win the Texas game. You play with George Kittle one time.
Yeah.
Let me see Brock Purdy play without George Kittle.
You can say that Brock Purdy has played better than Trey. I don't think we can deny that.
No doubt.
But to be so absolute that Trey is done, that is what is kind of wild to me.
Yeah.
Because how does anybody know?
We don't know. Let's go to Matt in Oakland. Matt, what's happening? You're on the roast.
How's it going, y'all? To hop on what the last caller said, it is over for Trey. I don't like him as the Niners quarterback, I do want to see him play, but I just don't think the 49ers is the right situation. It takes guys time to develop. Geno took 8 seasons. Daniel Jones was crap for 3 seasons. I think that, even Geno Smith is someone they should consider bringing in, but I think they should bring in a quarterback for this season and the next and let Brock really recover. Also, Bonte, I wanted to say, why wouldn't you bring Styles with you to Philly? This guy, look at his back. Look at this guy. He's built. He's
yoked up.
In Philly for years.
Hey, listen.
Come on. Man.
I love Styles. He should have came to Philadelphia. Could have toured us around North Philly.
That's right.
But we were outnumbered, homie.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care how many dudes were not. We were outnumbered, dog.
I would have helped. I would have led you. I eat free at Ishkabibbles.
It's like the Targaryens going to fight the White Walkers and that
right.
shit. We're like, hey, what happened to the Targaryens? What happened?
Yeah,
they got dominated. That would have been us.
Exactly. But going back to what Matt said, it's crazy for him to say he thinks Trey is done as a Giant fan when y'all been rocking with mid Daniel Jones for the last couple of years. So
Dothrakis? Sorry. What did I say? Yeah, Dothrakis. My bad.
If Daniel Jones gets this, got that amount of time, how could you say Trey's done in the same breath? I don't get that.
Yeah, it's just whatever. It's wild. Joe, hang on tight. 888-957-9570. We'll get to Benjamin Albright, courtesy of the Bud Light guest line. We'll be with Albright, then we'll get right back to the calls here. A lot of fun on the morning roast. Alan Styles in for Joe Shasky. He's a bit under the weather. We had a lot of fun in Philadelphia. Now he needs a recharge. Maybe he's getting ready for FanFest. Maybe that's the secret out there. Joe, you bet not go to FanFest, Shasky. You bet not. Don't do it. Don't give up your money. After that poor-ass offseason the Giants had. All right, where's my read? The morning roast, going back to school, high school, that is. We want to highlight the best performances in the Bay Area prep scene, but we need the roasters to help us out. Send us an email at hss@957thegame.com and let us know where the big game are, who the big game players are, and most importantly, when the big upsets happen. Email us right now at hss@957thegame.com. Also, what's coming up on the game, sponsored by Pfizer, Benjamin Albright.
It's the red and gold reaction on 95.7 The Game.
The one thing that kind of irritates me is Brock Purdy, he went up against Seattle and Dallas. Pretty damn good defense with the Dallas Cowboys, but didn't you want to see him on that stage?
Brought to you by the SF Sheriff's Office. Your future begins here.
When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So, if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com, sponsored by Pfizer.
So, the other day, I bought an extremely chatty...
Boring story time!
Make that an extremely catty cockatoo.
You're welcome!
Apparently, the pet store won't take it back. But hey, I'll manage.
I love that for you!
Just like I manage without home internet.
No, you don't!
Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable.
Aw, Birdie likes to stream!
But I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
My lady friend! It's mating season, duh!
No home internet? It's not that bad. No, not there.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
Come into Friedman's Appliance and see the full line of Fisher & Paykel appliances. Experience them in person in live vignettes, including their famous dish door dishwasher and unique sizes of refrigeration designed to fit seamlessly into your kitchen space. Fisher & Paykel products deliver perfect results with exceptional design and performance. And for a limited time, receive up to a $2,000 rebate when you purchase a qualifying Fisher & and Pickel kitchen package from Friedman's Appliance. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or online at friedmansappliance.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
With car prices at an all-time high, our donors are now getting highest receipts ever. Donate at carsforkids.org, and your car can be picked up tomorrow.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Johnny Mosley, and this is Thursday's Toyota Tahoe Report. The forecast is a little unsettled, but it's going to be a ripping weekend. Pack up your Toyota. I'll see you up there.
Thanks, Johnny. Morning clouds will develop into more overcast conditions throughout the day today. Daytime temperatures will remain mild with a high of 44 degrees, dropping to the mid-20s overnight. This report has been brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Check out Toyota's full lineup of mountain-ready all-wheel drive vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
In San Mateo, overcast skies today, highs near 60.
Weather brought to you by Auto Trader. Shop millions of new cars, used cars, and electric cars on Auto Trader and find your 1 in a million car. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader.
The other day, I bought a cockatoo. Hello! He's a handful, but I'll manage. Just like I manage without home internet. Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable, but I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
It's mating season.
No home internet? It's not that bad.
Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
I'm being a hater.
This is Stephen Curry, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and The Butcher on 95.7 The Game.
The Butcher's out. Allen's in. Butcher getting a little bit of rest. He's at the house chilling, probably listening to the show.
Get that emergency in you.
Yeah, he's probably got a burner account right down on YouTube. The Red and Gold Reaction brought to you by Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. Shout out to Boxer and Gerson, sending us to Philadelphia, to where we had to endure that painful loss to the Eagles, 31-7. And also those pretty low-life fans. I'll say it. Eagle fans stink.
Did you go Cheese Whiz on the cheesesteak?
No, it tells you not to do Cheese Whiz.
Who told you that?
They told me that in Philadelphia.
Will you go provolone?
Yeah, I went
I
provolone.
go Cheese Whiz, man.
Pickles is good, though. Man.
I told you.
Fat. I got cheese fries.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Philadelphia, great food. Ready Terminal with the Becks.
The pork roast.
I didn't go pork roast because I don't eat pork. But
Okay.
I went gumbo.
Okay.
I went gumbo.
All right. You know,
Chicken and shrimp and a nice little fried oyster. Poor boy.
there's
Oh,
a
boy.
lot. There's a lot to do out there.
All right, let's get to our main man. It is a lot to do out there. Let's get to our main man, Benjamin Albright. It's been way too long. He joins us courtesy of the Bud Light guest line. All postseason guests appear on the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Of course, Benjamin Albright, host reporter at the Broncos flagship station, KOA Colorado. He's a Broncos insider, but he also knows the league inside and out. And the Broncos, of course, just traded for Sean Payton to become their head coach. But first, let's start off with the biggest news in the NFL, and that's Tom Brady retiring. Benjamin, good morning to you. Are you shocked that Tom Brady finally decided to call it quits?
I don't know if shocked is the right word, but surprised, certainly. I really thought that Tom was going to want the swan song. The last year, considering sense because you're trying to save your marriage, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they end up getting divorced, and he goes through playing another season. And my guess is that he was just tired of taking the hits and everything else. He's got a cushy gig at Fox lined up, but I really expected him to come back for another year. So there's a miss on my part.
What if the Niners came calling, knowing about the Brock Purdy uncertainty, whether or not Trey Lance is ready to roll for week one, if he's developed enough, is he ready to handle the full playbook? What if the Niners came knocking on the door down in San Mateo and say, Tom, it's $20 million, man. Come home.
That's tough. I mean, he'd have to learn a whole new offense. He'd have to learn all new verbiage.
Yeah.
I think that would be a bit of an issue. I think if the Raiders had come calling and they had a decent defense, I think that might be a little different story, given that he knows that offense. But coming in and learning an entirely new, complex verbiage offense at the end of the career, it tends to be tough. West Coast offense, the Shanahan offense, tends to be tough that first year for quarterbacks, and they tend to take a big leap in year two. I don't know that unless Tom Brady thought he was going to play 2 more years, I don't think he'd do that.
Did you think that? How much did you put into the whole last season, the Adam Schefter breaking the news thing, and then Tom, for him to do it as kind of quickly as he did and just do it on his social media, control it? How much do you think the Adam Schefter thing last year was a real thing in terms of Tom Brady coming back because of it, or was it all separate?
I think it was. I think it was definitely because of that. I think he wanted to do it on his own terms, and I think that he knew that last year he had some leaks on the ship, specifically at his agent's office. So I think, I think this year he decided just to kind of do it on his own and go from there and beat everybody to the punch. I don't think he. I don't think he liked the way that went down last year.
Benjamin Albright here on the Bud Light guest line on the Morning Roast. Of course, Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Benjamin, what do you make of the quarterback situation out here in San Francisco? I know you're tapped in everywhere. Brock Purdy, we don't know if he needs Tommy John or not. Trey Lance, what are you hearing about the way the Niners feel about Trey Lance? Let's start there.
Well, it's been mostly positive stuff. I mean, they're disappointed that he's lost time due to injury and all that, but they knew that he was a long-term project when they got him. They knew that there was going to be a ramp up and a learning curve. It's not like they were ignorant of what he was. They went out and scouted him. They saw what he was on tape. And all the tools are there. It's just a question of how long it takes from the guy he is to the guy he could be and until those two meet. So, I think there's a positivity surrounding that. And Brock Purdy, coming out doing his thing was just a boon. And now, you could put those two in a quarterback competition. If Purdy's the guy, then you go with Purdy. And if he's not, then you got time to sit Trey Lance and get him in there and then and try and develop him, which was the plan all along.
Benjamin, I hate doing this. Today is actually it's a good time to do it because it is Groundhog Day, and it feels like Groundhog Day with Aaron Rodgers every season. Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? Am I going to retire? What do you think happens? Do you think he'll finally break away from the Packers? I don't think he'll retire. Some fans are wondering, could it work with San Francisco? I don't know how that money works. But what do you think happens with this next scene in the Aaron Rodgers soap opera?
Well, I feel like there's 3 options or 4 options here, I guess. One of which is retire, and I don't think he's leaning that way, but I didn't think Brady was leaning that way either. One is to stay with the Packers, although that feels kind of burnt. That just feels like it's just burnt out. It feels like the Favre saga where finally everybody's had enough. One of the options, I think, is the Raiders, and their situation. They're going to take a swing at it. And then the other's the New York Jets, and they're all in on it, and they're not even hiding it. They're all in on it. I mean, they went so far as to hire an absolute disaster at offensive coordinator just because they thought it would make them more attractive in Nathaniel Hackett. So, I think the Jets are really going to make a push for it. I think he plays next year. My gut says Jets, but don't discount the Raiders.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Benjamin Albright here on the Morning Roast. Jimmy Garoppolo, I know you heard Shanahan yesterday basically said he doesn't see any scenario in which Jimmy Garoppolo is back with the 49ers. And we know Jimmy Garoppolo played with the Niners this year despite everything that happened. What is the market for Jimmy Garoppolo? How much money do you think he will seek, and how much money will he receive on an annual average salary?
Well, the going market for starting quarterbacks is over $30 million now. I mean, you're talking about $35 million a year probably. So it just doesn't matter. Like if you're a starter, that's just the money you're getting. He's not going to get $50 million a year because he's not that kind of starter. But the going market for a baseline starter in the NFL is over $30 million. So he'll get over that. I think he's probably the fallback plan for the Jets or the Raiders. I think both those teams will at least take a look at it. There may be another team that gets involved, like Washington, but as it sits right now, I really do think a lot of this quarterback market is really dependent on what Aaron Rodgers decides and what the Jets and what the Raiders ultimately do.
If you were going to, I guess, rank the available quarterbacks, and I'm going to include Derek Carr because we know the Raiders plan on moving on for him, it would have to be. Would it be Aaron Rodgers and then Derek Carr and then Jimmy Garoppolo? It feels like maybe because Derek Carr isn't fully released from the Raiders and, you got to trade and do different things that he's not being talked about the same. But you'd have to say that Derek Carr would probably have a bigger market than Jimmy Garoppolo, right or wrong?
I believe that's true. Derek Carr is a borderline top third of the league quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is a middle of the pack guy. If you got a strong run game, strong defense, Jimmy can be efficient. You can win. Derek Carr can pick a team up. I mean, the guy's played with no defense his entire career. So it's, I think that Derek Carr is viewed as a hotter commodity. Now, there might be a premium for a couple of teams on Garoppolo simply because he knows the system, i.e. the Raiders. But, end of the day, I think that you would rank it Rodgers, Carr, Garoppolo, yeah.
Benjamin, I know we talked earlier in the season, of course, Benjamin Albright, KOA, Colorado, does a great job covering the Denver Broncos and the rest of the league. I know last year we discussed Sean Payton possibly coming to Denver. Now, I'm a little shocked that Nathaniel Hackett got fired after just one season, but the way it ended, the way it happened in L.A. on that Saturday, that Christmas day where they got blown out, it was like, boy, maybe this team did quit on him. Sean Payton, how quickly can he turn around the Denver Broncos? How quickly can Russell Wilson find that magic he had in Seattle and compete in the NFC West against Mahomes and Herbert and, of course, the Raiders?
Well, that is the million-dollar question. Ever since Nathaniel Hackett was fired for the altercation on the sideline in that Christmas game where you had the offensive lineman shoving the backup quarterback, and he just lost complete control. That's kind of been the speculation. Sean Payton wasn't the Broncos' first choice. Jim Harbaugh was. He wasn't even their second choice. That was DeMeco Ryans, but they circled back around, traded away the draft picks, and landed on Payton. The question is, how well does what Russell Wilson does and what Sean Payton does marry up? Most of what Sean Payton has run throughout his career has been in-breaking routes, working the mid and shallow game, dagger, mills, slant, things like that. And then you got, Russell Wilson, who's at his best off schedule and throwing deep and outside the numbers. So they're kind of opposites, but Sean Payton, it's not like he can't change up what he does a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly he can make that happen. The Broncos can get out from under Russell Wilson's contract after 1 year using a post-June 1 designation cut. I mean, it's a bit steep in terms of the cap hit you'll take for 2 seasons, but they can do it. If Sean Payton doesn't feel like Russell Wilson's the guy after 1 season, they can punt on it. I tend to think Russell will have a bounce back either way because he was playing hurt last year, but we'll see.
All right, Benjamin, we got to ask, when it comes to the Super Bowl, you got the Chiefs, who you think Patrick Mahomes will continue to get healthy as they move towards game day, and then you have the Eagles, who Jalen Hurts had that shoulder. He's still coming back from it. We think he'll be pretty darn close to 100% by the time that happens. How do you think this whole thing goes down? You got that crazy pass rush. You don't have to tell the Niners fans about the pass rush of the Eagles. You got the electric offense of the Chiefs that they always have, and they got a pass rush too. What do you think happens there in the Super Bowl?
Well, I think these are two great football teams. You get the best quarterback in the game in Pat Mahomes, and you got a pretty stacked team over there in Philadelphia. I tend to think Philadelphia is going to win this one. In the interest of full disclosure, I got some friends that are on that staff. I'm going to go ahead and take Philadelphia in that one. I think they're the more complete football team. But Pat Mahomes has some magic to him. I've seen it happen up close and personal a bunch, and I never count him out.
Yeah, no doubt. Benjamin, we're going to let you go. I think this game could be a blowout. Watching Philadelphia up close and personal, that defensive line is ferocious. The offensive line is physical. They got weapons everywhere. Kenneth Gainwell changed that NFC title game. I like the Eagles in a blowout, man. I think we're going to be bored by the third quarter of the Super Bowl. I'm dead serious, man. And trust me, Benjamin, after experiencing Philadelphia and Lincoln Financial Field, I want the Eagles to get beat by 50. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Eagles fans are the worst I've ever been around as far as the travel goes. They're at least friendly. So I hear you on that. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Eagles win. I hope so. I hope you'll be able to cash this ticket.
Absolutely. All right, Benjamin. Thanks for the time as always, brother.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, Benjamin Albright. KOA, Colorado, shedding some light on the 49ers, the league. The Eagles.
Brotherly love.
I really think the Chiefs are going to get smacked. I love Mahomes.
Wild.
I love Mahomes.
Wow.
That defensive line. Look at all the Super Bowls over the last 10 to 12 years.
I hear you.
But who's going to block Fletcher Cox? Who's going to block Hargraves? Hassan Reddick off the edge. They force holding penalties. No quarterback has thrown for more than 250 against the Eagles this year.
It's a good point, but the Eagles, like I said, Jalen Hurts, that was the one thing that I didn't necessarily see, partly because we didn't have to, because they were facing a quarterback that could not throw the football, quite literally. Not to bring up what some Niner fans were saying. He should get back out there. Not just Niner fans. Ric Flair, Reggie Bush. You got to get out. Just stop it.
Reggie Bush was too much.
Don't speak on other people's bodies. Like you don't know. All right.
But we found out very quickly that Brock Purdy couldn't throw.
Literally.
I mean, he could barely throw a screen pass.
Exactly. And they lost the game, but it should be looked at with the couple passes he did throw. That should be looked at when you say, okay, Kobe or Klay Thompson, tore his ACL and then shot a free throw. It's similar to me to even try to throw that football. So I'm looking at this, and Jalen Hurts, he overthrows A.J. Brown when the game was still in the balance. And then pretty soon after that, the game wasn't really in the balance because the Eagles were going up against a team, Josh Johnson and his fumble, things like that. I understand it doesn't have to be a Jalen Hurts-led win, but he's going to have to do some things. And so he's going to have to show up. A blowout, Bonte, you're kind of wilding here.
The Buccaneers blow him out. I told you guys on the roast when Kate Scott and Shasky talking about Mahomes, and I said, dude, they got the home game and they had the better defensive line.
Yeah.
After watching Aaron Rodgers get punished by Tampa Bay in that NFC Championship game at Lambeau Field, is Mahomes going to have time to throw the football? All right, their secondary, when Darius Slay Jr. and Maddox and Gardner Johnson, they got ballers. Bradbury, they've got ballers. Now Mahomes, can he make some plays? He is the equalizer, right? No doubt about it. But what happens when you get pressure in your face?
This might finally be the game where they sit there and say, man, if we had Tyreek. Because I do feel you. As good as Travis Kelce is, we're not going to get into a Travis Kelce versus George Kittle debate today, but I love doing it. Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, is that enough to get it done?
Tony healthy?
Yeah.
Is McCall Hardman healthy?
You got Pacheco, so you got a little bit of a run game.
Look,
I hear you, but a blowout is crazy.
I want to be wrong about this game. I want to be wrong. I do. I just don't. The Eagles, man, have the more complete team, and I hate to say it. I do not want their fans celebrating that. I want their fans to. You have no idea how much that Monday after the Super Bowl, because I'm
getting it. I'm from my old teammates. They're hitting me up.
Listen, I'm already telling Sam Lubman, hey, if they lose that Super Bowl, Sam Lubman will call that morning show to troll them.
Yeah.
And then Spadoni will call them to troll them.
You know what's
wild?
wild?
I will call them to troll them. I want them whining. They put Shasky and I all over their websites.
Wow.
Savage Philly Sports Media.
Hey, all publicity is good publicity.
I'm not bad at it, but they haven't heard the last from us. Let me just say that.
You know what's wild is Dan Devone and I did a show on Monday, and we had at least 2 or 3 calls from East Coasters that we're thinking, they trick the screeners.
Oh, yes.
I want to talk Niners, and then they get on. They say, "You disrespect us." Blah 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 blah. Shouldn't you be listening to Kansas City sports talk? Thank you for listening. But shouldn't you be moving forward?
They're miserable human beings. I'm convinced.
Shouldn't you be moving forward with your life? Get ready for the Super Bowl. And the victory lapping when you beat a quarterback that couldn't throw in Josh Johnson is wild to me.
The way they acted, the way they act, the way they talk, the way they treated Shasky and I at 94 WIP. One of the homies walked into our studio, tried to say, "This is our house. This is our." We had to punk him at the break. Trust me, Philadelphia's public enemy number one. It's personal with them. Like when I think about Philadelphia, it gets me angry.
See, now I'm
does.
torn.
It does
I don't want to be in
me.
this position.
I know you went to Temple.
I got my Philly crew.
I got my Philly crew too. I got a lot of Philly brothers.
But the people in that video, that was not the Philly crew that I know. Yeah. I don't know where you found them, from Sigma Chi or
I don't know
one of those fraternities. I don't know what
maybe
that
Capitol
was.
Hill a couple years ago. Dennis on YouTube. Bonte got to go to a Sharks game just to get at Flyers fans. I may do that.
Yeah.
Even though the Flyers
It's
already
on
can't
site.
take. It's on site. Philadelphia, you suck. Darn. You stink. Oh, man.
Wow.
I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan for Super Bowl Sunday. Let's go to Aaron in Hayward. Aaron, what's happening? You're in the roast.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
First-time caller. Just had a point to make. I heard a couple of callers calling in saying that, bringing a different veteran quarterback like Geno Smith. And I kind of think the Niners have an interesting situation. You have 3 quarterbacks, and you have 2 who can take you to the dance or close to the dance. And with that being said, players who come back after injury, most of the time they struggle for that same year, or maybe 2 years later they start to pick it up. And what I've noticed is that when Jimmy G came back off of his 2 injuries, he looked great. So my suggestion is keep Jimmy G, because he has the mental capacity to come back after injury and still perform. Have Brock Purdy and Trey Lance kind of still sitting behind him until they're mentally ready to go back. Because being an ex-athlete, when I broke my leg, I tried to bounce back, and I struggled for about 2 years until I mentally got stronger and said, okay, let me just push through, because subconsciously you kind of worry about that injury.
Right.
You don't play.
No doubt, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, we got to run. Thanks for the phone call there. I get your point. 888-957-9570, the Xfinity Fast 5 question of the day. Can the 49ers win a Super Bowl with the quarterbacks they currently have on the roster? Xfinity Fast 5, 888-957-9570. Can the 49ers win a Super Bowl with the quarterbacks they currently have on their roster? Let's hit it. Oh, Xfinity Fast 5, 888-957-9570. I'll start with you, Styles. Can the Niners win a Super Bowl with the quarterbacks they currently have on their roster?
Specifically next season?
Next season, because that's what it's about. It's about Super Bowls.
That last caller did bring up a good point in terms of Brock Purdy, maybe having to work himself back throwing-wise. But I still would say yes. I still would say yes.
I'm going to say no. I think they fall short. I think they fall short in the NFC title game.
Again?
Or the divisional round. Or the wild card round. It's funny, holy lessons. Can the Warriors win the championship with their current players on the roster? Hell, I don't know, man. I don't know if they can win a game against Denver.
No.
I don't even know. Xfinity Fast 5, 888-957-9570. We're going to go blind here. What you got? Can the Niners win a Super Bowl with the quarterbacks they currently have on the roster? Oh, he dropped. They all dropped. You know what? That's 2 days in a row. Xfinity Fast 5 has failed. Holy lessons. Ha. I don't know, man. That's Fast 5. Let's just end it. We got nothing there. We got nothing.
You know
2 days
what?
in a row. It's just Xfinity Fast. They're going to pull that sponsorship so damn fast.
The Kyle Shanahan, when you were earlier in the show, when you were going through all of his takes, right?
Right.
You know what was sticking out of my mind? Maury. You said that Jimmy Garoppolo would not be returning as a 49er. That was a lie. You said Brock Purdy would be ready to go in time for training camp. That was also a lie.
Yep.
All of it to me. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm kind of with some of the roasters. Let's bring back the flex of the day. Flex of the day. Fast five, flex of the day. We'll let the roasters decide. Should we go fast five or should we go flex of the day? It's 2 days in a row, fast five. Yesterday's fast five was just disgusting. Can you hear me? Hey, how you doing? Like, no. Get in, get out. Callers were a lot better today, I will say that. Let's go to Gary Martinez real quick before we end the show. Gary, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Gary?
I think the 49ers could definitely win with Purdy, but we can't win with Trey Lance yet. He just doesn't have the experience, man. Look at Jalen Hurts. We talk about Brock Purdy, with his 4 years experience at Iowa State, and it definitely helped with his poise and everything. But you look at where Jalen Hurts is now. He played 4 years, but under national championships, and he's got 3 years in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the last time that we had Trey Lance. When's the last time he played a whole full year or anything?
2019.
So that's just my take.
2019. Sack 2019. But we had a poll up yesterday. Who should be the starting quarterback in week 1? Over 3,000 votes. Trey Lance got 44.9% of the votes. Brock Purdy got 38% of the votes. Jimmy G got 6% of the votes. And signed a free agent, 10% of the votes. So there you go.
Trey Aria's back. We still got the signs back here.
Maybe we need to get the cue cards back up. I don't even know who took the cue cards down.
We can get, it's
the cue
not
cards
done.
back up.
It's
calling
not
out
done.
names like corrupt. What's up, Willard? Dibs. Oh, yeah, who took down the cue cards? I had the cue cards up.